Yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
It is a beautiful day here in the Tampa-St. Pete area, but we're playing these games indoors. No matter, it is time for baseball as GE Capital presents the Monday game of the week. Tonight, it's the New York Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in the first of three from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball, along with Al Leiter and John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. Yankees left Baltimore losing 3 out of 4, 2 of them in excruciating fashion, and last night fell under that heading.
Yeah, it's the same old story for the New York Yankees. A tough weekend in Baltimore, but the good news for the Yankees, Martin Prado hits his 12th home run of the year, his 7th as a New York Yankee to give them the lead, and that's a guy battling a hamstring problem. Later on, Brian McCann in the top of the ninth gives the Yankees a 2-1 lead. His 20th home run of the year. He struggled so much, but now starting to pick it up at the end of the year. But like you said, Michael, the night was lost in the bottom of the ninth inning. Kelly Johnson, a game-winning hit driving into the ex-Yankee, comes back to haunt his old club.
Well, the guys that you mentioned, including Chris Young, have really been a big part of what the Yankees are doing, at least power-wise. They have had 8 of the team's 9 home runs in the last 7 games. Prado hitting .391, McCann with the 3 home runs. Chris Young has been great since coming over after the Mets released him. Let's take a look at tonight's pitching matchup, brought to you by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Alex Colomé will get the start for the Rays against Chris Capuano for the Yankees. And Al, Chris has been a mixed bag for the Yankees.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough, Michael. Look, he's a veteran left-handed pitcher. This would be the 10th start for the Yankees. He had appearances as out of the bullpen with the Red Sox. I'll tell you what, he's in the rotation because of the injuries. When Chris Capuano's on, he uses that boring slider, breaking ball down and in on the right-hander. He can stand up right-handed batters. He's got the good changeup. This was his last start against Tampa Bay. He went 1/3 of an inning, gave up 4 runs. His changeup was cutting. He's a fastball changeup pitcher. He has to be on location or it's not going to be a long night.
Now, in all fairness to Chris Capuano, the most important Yankee that made a start today was that man, Masahiro Tanaka. He pitched in Tampa in front of the watchful eyes of the organization. Meredith Marakovich was there, and she'll break down exactly what happened and how it went.
Welcome back to Tropicana Field for Yankees baseball on Yes. Hey, everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovich. Around 1 o'clock this afternoon, Joe Girardi, Larry Rothschild, and about 40 media members were intently watching at George M. Steinbrenner Field as Masahiro Tanaka threw a simulated game. Tanaka tossed 65 pitches over 5 innings, allowing 6 hits and striking out 4 in the process. After the game, he said his arm felt fine, and also his max velocity was about 92 miles per hour, pretty consistent from what we've seen from Tanaka this year. Larry Rothschild commented that the last 2 innings were very similar to what they saw from Tanaka when he was pitching in the big leagues, in that he was quick with his delivery. There was a lot of force behind the ball, so a lot of reasons to be optimistic. Meanwhile, I caught up with Joe Girardi, who weighed in on that session.
It was good. I thought the ball came out of his hand well today, and I've said all along, you know, we're going to have to get to the point where he's in a real game and there's normal preparation and there's people in the stands and his adrenaline's flowing. But I was pleased with the way the ball came out of his hand today, and we'll see what the next step is. It's very possible he could be in a game for us the next step. I think to be fair, you have to see how he feels tomorrow, and then you make that decision.
The Yankees will continue to keep their fingers crossed with Tanaka. Meanwhile, there is baseball to be played tonight. Al Leiter, Michael Kay, and John Flaherty coming back next with lineup first pitch baseball right here on Yes.
Powered by your tri-state area Volkswagen dealers. Visit VWDealer.com. By People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. By Henry and Me. Watch Yankees Legends Come Alive. Available on DVD and digital download September 30th. And by Buick. Visit BuickDealer.com for all summer sell-down offers. Well, that's a unique way to get to the ballpark, but get here they did, at least some of them. We are inside Tropicana Field, where tonight it'll be the Yankees against the Rays. The Rays have taken the field, so let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup, presented by Lexus. Leading off for the Yankees, their center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury. In left field, it's Brett Gardner batting second. Batting third, playing second base, Martin Prado. Mark Teixeira, the first baseman, cleans up. The number 5 hitter, the DH Carlos Beltran. Chase Headley will be at third base. He'll bat 6th. Batting 7th, playing right field, Ichiro Suzuki. John Ryan Murphy behind the plate will bat 8th. And batting 9th, and playing shortstop Brendan Ryan, Derek Jeter with the night off.
25-year-old right-hander Alex Colomé just got called up. The Durham Bulls were in the playoffs in the International League. Alex Colomé, you see his numbers: 1 start, 2 games appeared. Great arm. I like his arm a lot. You see just a short body of work. Let's take a look at the pitcher scout report, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Plus live fastball, no question about it. He rushes it up there in the mid-90s. control has been an issue. This guy's been around for a while now in the minor leagues. He's got 696 innings in the minor leagues with 313 walks. Kind of figuring it out. Good fastball, slider combination. Tough with runners on base. I know it's a small little snippet, but when runners are on base, so far in those 2 appearances, 1 start, 1 in relief, 1 for 15 in those situations, a 171 batting average against.
All right, so let's check out the defense behind Colomé. And the defense for the Rays is presented by Geico. Geyer is in left, Zobrist in center. Boy, they put him all around the field. Myers in right. In the infield, it's Sean Rodriguez, Yunel Escobar, Logan Forsythe, and James Loney at first base. Kirk Casale is behind the plate. And Al told you all you need to know about Alex Colomé on the mound.
Al, I kind of like the idea that he has all those innings in the minor leagues. You almost don't hear that anymore when guys get to the big leagues. They don't have enough work in the minors, and they don't seem ready. We'll see what Colomé has tonight.
Yeah, that's a good point. And he has been in the big leagues in 2011. Started 9 games, 2012, 23. Last year, 22 games. Early this year, he was got a 50-day suspension for the PED testing. So that kept him down.
Yankees come into this game at 76 and 72, and the Rays on their tail at 72 and 78. Jacoby Ellsbury is ready. Colomé is ready. And let's do it here in St. Pete. The first pitch is a strike, and we are underway.
Well, kind of interested to see how the Yankees react these 3 games here in Tampa. A tough weekend in Baltimore, losing 3 out of 4. Every game was close. Day-night doubleheader, day game followed by an 8 o'clock ESPN game. Get into Tampa, St. Pete later, early in the morning, whichever way you want to look at it. Get ready for another 3-game series.
Ellsbury had 2 hits and 17 at-bats in that 4-game set. Line drive, foul. Al, what do you make of the half stretch, half windup that a lot of these pitchers do now in the major leagues?
You mean slightly to the side? I like it because, Michael, it puts your back foot, which is your push-off foot, in a position to where you don't really have to turn. I know conventionally, you rock back, the old days of Tom Seaver and Sandy Koufax and whatnot. This is now really very much like you're coming from the stretch. And I know he's going to have a little bit of a step back. So that obviously takes him away from the stretch.
Grounded to first. It's a foul ball.
So I think, and it'll be, it's interesting you bring that up because Alex Cobb, really nice looking pitcher. He'll be pitching the last game of the series. He's got such an unusual leg kick. And then somebody's on base. As a matter of fact, it happened, didn't it, Michael? I know he had a couple walks, but he had the no-hitter into the 8th inning in his last start against in the Bronx. So it's such a difference. Most pitchers like the rhythm, tempo, and cadence of a delivery, of a windup. I know I did. And then when you come from the stretch, it's a little different. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 pitches to find that release point. And I see with Colomé here, it's just simple.
Fly ball left field. Geyer for the first out. Maybe he got it from David Price.
Price did the same thing.
Yep.
That's and I'm glad you mentioned it. I got a chance to talk to Jim Hickey at length today about just kind of what we were talking about in the last series, about the mantra of an organization. And we were saying about how a lot of these young arms here have good changeups. Jim Hickey admitted, he said, I'd like to incorporate that as far as the mantra through the minor leagues down to rookie ball. He said it's really not the case. He credited James Shields for guys to look and emulate a successful big leaguer on your team and your staff. So I thought, Michael, that was interesting because I did think it was kind of a mandate that was, okay, all minor leaguers, you pitch 25% of your pitches, changeups. It's a good pitch. We know it's a good pitch. Use it. I mentioned in the scouting report, he's fastball slider, Colomé. He also has a nice changeup.
Count 1-1 on Gardner.
So I think it's interesting. You mentioned with Colomé, I'm sure he watched David Price while he was here, 40-man roster, big league invite, go to spring training. You pick up some things. Do you as a hitter?
Oh, you're always looking at the guys on your club to see who was successful and what they did. And you mentioned simple delivery. I think all the hitters feel the same way. The simpler the approach, getting ready to hit, the more success you're going to have.
I do think, and maybe I'm wrong, and I would like to, have somebody who's playing presently to refute it, but I think baseball conversation has gone down in the big leagues. Just baseball talk. And I learned a lot from sitting around after a game with Ron Guidry and Dave Righetti and just older, better guys. And they, if you were a rookie, you sat there and you shut up. You listened to what they had to say, and you learned.
2-2 count on Gardner, just underway here in St. Pete at Tropicana Field. Hanley 2-2. Swing and a miss. Gardner down on strikes. Yankee Baseball is available in Spanish by hitting the SAP button on your remote. SAP is brought to you by Infinity.
Well, Gardner with the days off and with his little abdominal strain. That's 94 with a little cut upstairs. Tough to lay off and tough to catch up.
Here's Martin Prado with that home run in last night's game. His hamstring's less than 100%, but he has gutted it out. And boy, what an acquisition for the Yankees. He's done his best to help now, but Yankees haven't signed for 2 more years, and they could plug him wherever they don't get a player that they want in that position. He could play second, he could play third, he could play right, he could play left, and he does it all pretty well.
I think the biggest surprise for me, 7 home runs in 36 games with the Yankees. National League player, always thought he'd be the perfect number 2 guy, hit the ball all over the place. I did not realize he had this type of power. 12 overall, 7 with the Yankees. And like you said, Michael, doing it on one leg, basically.
This was a great pickup by the Yankees. I know when they traded, the Atlanta Braves traded him to Arizona. They were upset. So many different levels. Good clubhouse guy, good leader, great teammate, and a great player. 300 average. And a baseball player. Knows the situation. Fundamentally sound. It's a good pickup.
Also a little unusual. He's way up in the box. Usually you see guys dig a hole behind that line. His front foot is in the front of the box. The 2-1. Chopped to third. Rodriguez and a nice scoop by Loney to end the first. Yankees go down in order against Colome. 1-2-3. It's the Yankees nothing, and the Tampa Bay Rays coming to bat. Field, Ben Zobrist will lead off. The left fielder, Brandon Guyer, back second. Batting third and DHing Evan Longoria. Will Myers in right field will clean up. The number 5 hitter, the shortstop, Yunel Escobar. Logan Forsythe has really been struggling. The shortstop will bat 6th. Batting 7th, playing first base, James Loney. Sean Rodriguez is going to play third, and he'll bat 8th. And Kurt Casale will catch and bat 9th.
.36-year-old left-hander Chris Capuano, 8th round in 1999 out of Duke University. This will be his 38th appearance. 10 starts with the Yankees. All the other appearances were out of the bullpen with the Red Sox. And Chris Capuano having a little bit of a struggle would be to say it mildly. Didn't get out of the first inning. Good thing. Yankees came back. Exciting win. Was able to win it. And I think he's filled in admirably. I really do. You see his numbers there, as I said, the 37 games, 9 starts. That ERA definitely got inflated with the 1/3 of an inning, 4 earned runs. Let's take a look at the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Rebound, yeah, I just mentioned a 1/3 of an inning, 4 runs. Boy, oh boy, you couldn't wait to get back on the mound and hurry up and get your next start in. Certainly not something you look forward to as a starting pitcher. Throw strikes. He is a strike thrower. If he's on the corners and changes speeds, he pitches a fine ball game, and there it is right there. Fastball, changeup, slider, curveball in that ratio, and there on the bottom are the velocities of each respective pitch. Not an overpowering guy.
Ben Zobrist will lead it off. If this was an SAT test, Ben Zobrist is to the Rays what Martin Prado is to the Yankees. Zobrist can play all positions. I think that Prado is proficient at 4 of them. Zobrist can play all over the diamond. And it's so valuable to have a player like that.
Yeah, used to seeing him play second base, right field, but athletic enough that he can step in and play center. Desmond Jennings beat up a little bit.
1-1.
You know, Al, I always thought starting pitchers had the greatest job in baseball. You go out there, you throw a gem. You have 4 days in between to pat yourself on the back.
Golf.
Oh, you know, I'm the man. But then on the flip side, you throw a 1/3 of an inning and get beat up. Those 4 days in between have to be torture.
Yeah, you want to hide. You know, you feel awful. You know, you're starting pitcher. The whole premise behind it is you prepare physically and mentally, and the side work, and in the training room and the weight room, all that stuff. You lead up to it. Video analysis, get with your catcher, scout reports, all that, and you don't get out of the first inning.
You know what? I loved his comments after that game.
Lined into center field, the base hit for Zobrist.
He was so complimentary of what the bullpen did, and obviously they were great. But there's got to be a guilt factor to that too, doesn't there?
You know what? I think it. You know, look, there's no rhyme or reason at times to this game, and I know you know this. You can nail a ball, and the shortstop makes a diving play. You next at bat, you get sawed off, jam shot off of your knuckles, and you dribble one in front of the third baseman, you get a base hit. So you know you dismiss it. You have to.
Yeah.
You go nuts. You know if you figure out in any other way. And it was one of those games. It really was. He was almost out of the inning. There were some ifs and buts pitches that could have gotten him out. And I know it is the ifs and buts and tough. That it is what it is.
Geyer with a high fly ball to left field. Gardner makes the play for the first out. Why don't we check out the Yankee defense presented by Geico? We've seen Gardner at left, so we'll start there. Ellsbury's in center and Ichiro over in right. In the infield, Chase Headley, amazingly enough, is back. We'll talk about him when he comes up. Ryan at short, Prado at second, Teixeira plays first. John Ryan Murphy behind the plate. We told you about Chris Capuano on the mound. Here's Evan Longoria. The 1-0. Now, you could just tell, you're watching this game on TV, there aren't many people here. You can hear individual voices in the crowd. The Yankees got in very, very late. They lost 3 excruciating games to the Orioles. And this is where you really earn your paycheck. How do you step up and play in a game like this? I mean, you still have the slightest hope. You're not mathematically eliminated, but it doesn't look good. How do you get up for a game like this?
You said it. You get paid a lot of money. You're professional, and it's part of your mantra, man. You don't get to the big leagues and have the success that many of these guys have had and not take pride in what you do. I hear what you're saying, Michael. Sometimes it's hard.
in a weird way, I actually think sometimes it's easier to play when you get to sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning to your hotel room. You come the next day, you see your name in the lineup, and right away that light goes on. Okay, what do I have to do to get ready? We just showed a shot of the guys in the bullpen, and you can see they're dragging. I mean, mentally, they don't have to get it going until maybe the middle to the end of the game, and you can see their body language is not good. But I think the guys in the lineup would be okay.
Popped up. Prado, a long run, and makes the play. Although we're in a dome, we do tell you the weather conditions. Game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. Oh, look how nice it looks. But we need words, we need numbers.
I'm saying humid as
85 degrees, 68% humidity, not much wind. It's clear and cool under the dome, though. I don't know if it's that cool in here.
No, it's a little warmer.
It's not 72.
No way.
Here's Will Myers. Missed outside. The home plate umpire is Marty Foster. Rob Drake is at first. Joe West, the crew chief, is at second. Alan Porter is at third. No medals for trying, but the Yankees are in a stretch right now. Certainly not an excuse that it's really, really tough travel. They played a night game in New York. They had a day-night doubleheader in Baltimore the next day, so they got into their hotel in Baltimore about 2:30. Then they play an ESPN game last night, get into the hotel at 4. Then they're going to play a Wednesday night game here in Tampa, and they have a game the next day in New York, so they'll be getting into their homes about 3:30. And I mean, you're on a big team that people want to have on TV, and they don't want to change night games to day games because it affects television audiences. That's what happens. I remember Adrian Gonzalez didn't like playing for the Red Sox because of that. He said, I always felt like I was getting in late. We didn't get the proper rest.
Yep. New York Yankees, people want to see you. Derek Jeter retiring, all of that combined. But Michael, I think especially the guys that have been here, and even the guys that are new, it's the Yankees, and it is special. It's different. I played on 3 other teams. You played on how many other teams?
I'd rather get in late to a hotel and not get a lot of sleep and play for the Yankees than Tampa Bay when I was here. We'd get away early, have nice nights out at dinner and a few cocktails maybe. And we lose 100 games every year. So what do you want? Which way you want to go?
Zobrist leads off first. 2 men out. Bottom of the first. 2-2. Gets away from John Ryan Murphy, and Zobrist advances to second. That'll be a wild pitch.
Yeah, that's a wild pitch, but that's one that John Ryan Murphy is going to be disappointed at. Changeup pretty much middle of the plate, and it just bounces off of his glove or chest protector. We'll get another look. And this is a ball John Ryan Murphy can block in his sleep. It hits off the heel of the glove and scoots away. Now a runner in scoring position.
So the count 3-2 on Myers. Runner in scoring position. He'll stay put on the 3-2 with 2 outs. Capuano deals. And Myers walks.
With the ratings first off the game, policy donates $250 to the Rebecca Hall Foundation.
2 on, 2 out. And that'll bring up Yunel Escobar. Why don't we check out the G. Pitter Scouter report on Yunel Escobar?
Well, he's going through a little power surge right now. 3 home runs in his last 4 games and coming off a red-hot road trip where he hit .429 with 6 RBIs and has always been known as a great defender, but he's got 16 errors this year. He only had 7 last year, so I guess the good news, the power numbers and offensively he's swinging a hot bat, but 16 errors for Escobar seems kind of strange.
Oh, he had a series in New York. Kind of was flat for the most part for the year. 7 home runs on the year. A couple big home runs.
And there's a strike to Escobar.
Good fastball hitter has always been, even with the Braves as a young player when he batted 300 plus before his trade to Toronto. Kind of a mistake hitter. Kind of flies open.
Fly ball, right field. Ichiro drifts toward the line and makes the play for the final out. No runs are hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We played 1 here at Tropicana Field. It's 0-0, Yankees and the Rays. This is the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. What did you think of the Orioles ceremony that honored Derek Jeter before last night's game? What did you think? Christina D7 said it was awesome. Love DJ, going to miss him big time. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. Here is some of that ceremony. Jim Hunter. Boog Powell.
$1,000 in your name.
Got a naval captain's hat. And a check to for a charity in Florida in the name of Derek Jeter. And tonight he has the night off. 13 more games to go after this to Derek Jeter's regular season career. Here's Mark Teixeira. Mark is 2 for his last 24. And when Mark looks up at that scoreboard and sees a .218 batting average, that's not Mark Teixeira. And he knows it. You know, the power numbers are okay, but he's not a .218 hitter. This is a guy when he was with the Angels in half the season hit about .350. So you wonder, is he going to make any adjustments during the offseason? He has said this offseason, because I'm not coming back from surgery, I'll be able to prepare better, be in better shape, work on things I couldn't work on. Yankees have to hope that this is not Mark Teixeira.
You know, and I agree with Mark that physically it'll be a nice offseason to go through your regular routine and get in great shape. But when you're hitting .218 mentally, that's going to play on you. And do I have to make changes? You know, am I an older player now? I got to make some adjustments mechanically. And I don't know about you, Al, but when you get older, you start playing mind games on yourself. You know, what have I lost it, or is it a mechanical adjustment I have to make? That's what he needs to figure out.
Well, he averaged 153 games a season for his first 9 years in the big leagues. Over the last 3, he's averaged 83. It's hard to get in any kind of rhythm, groove, timing, all of that. I mean, he's been hurt a lot. So, yeah, get that right first. But I'll tell you, good question. Do you change your swing? Do you change your approach when you get older?
I think you have to. Because you watch Mark, and he's always been a straight-up hitter, and he takes like a big stride and then works back to cover the baseball. Tough pitch right there, just misses. So I think there are some adjustments he can make, maybe to be a little shorter and quicker.
Also, guys, I mean, there's 40 points of average on the left side of the infield if you're so inclined to go that way. All of a sudden, 218 is 260. Now, would the power numbers go down? Maybe. Maybe not. 3-2. Right back to Colomé. Off of Colomé. Trickles out toward Forsythe. And Teixeira will reach.
Well, that's also a mindset, Michael, because he has said, based on his approach, and we just saw there, that's a 94-mile-an-hour fastball away, and he pulled it. He got lucky there, and Colomé couldn't get the handle on it. Watch here. This ball is run. That's off the plate. Now, I couldn't hit, but that ball away. The guys that were the 300 hitters, they're driving that ball to left field. He gets a knock out of it. You see that? That's even a ball. And he's pulling that ball. Those hitters that go 300 opposite way, they're going that way.
Remember what I just said, that he has a big stride and he works underneath and catches up? That's a perfect look at it right there, where the bat head is down and he has to come around it just to make contact.
Here's Carlos Beltran. Yankees also have to hope that Beltran's numbers are an aberration. Had a good year last year with the Cardinals. This year, he's been playing hurt with the bone spur in the elbow. He's had 3 cortisone shots. It continues to bother him. And 235, 15, and 49 is not what the Yankees had in mind.
No, and you're used to hearing pitchers who have bone spurs, and they always say they can't extend because they know it's going to grab and it's going to be painful. And I'm sure the same thing for Carlos. That right arm, the right elbow, the lead arm batting left-handed.
That one is dunked into left field for a base hit as Teixeira stops at second and Beltran picks up a single.
You hate to say that he's just feeling for the baseball, but when you have all these problems with your right elbow, it is tough to really be aggressive and turn it loose. Carlos had a pinch hit appearance in last night's game, but just picks up a nice base hit the other way. Yankees have something going here in the second. Just block it off, hit it the other way.
That's a nice job. Similar pitch that Teixeira hit up the middle. Beltran going the other way.
Here's Chase Headley. His first at bat since he was hit on the chin by Jake McGee of the Rays at Yankee Stadium.
First pitch inside after that whole thing that he went through.
John, did you ever get hit up around the head?
I think I got hit in the helmet, once or twice, but nothing where it got skin on the face or anything like that. So mentally, there was never really a thought going back up to the plate.
It has affected some players.
Sure.
And I talked to people that know Headley well and were at the hospital with him. They were shocked that there were no fractures. All that he had to have were stitches on his chin, and he was very, very fortunate. You could say getting hit on the chin is fortunate, but things could have been worse. No dental problems. Now we're going to show you when he got hit, so if you're a little squeamish, please turn away from the set for a couple of seconds, but we're going to show you when Headley got hit. And remember, Jake McGee's throwing about 97 miles an hour. And thank goodness it was just lacerations of the chin. And you can see the concerned look on everybody's face, both sides of the diamond. The 2-1. Foul ball.
Well, we've watched Chase since he's come over to the Yankees, and left-handed, when he swings, he's very quiet at the plate, gets his front foot down early, and really doesn't have a lot of movement. From the right side, kind of has a bigger stride and strides into home plate. This is from left side. Just that front foot down early and really doesn't have any movement into the plate. Right-handed, he definitely dives a little bit towards the plate. So I think that's probably going to be, I don't know, the mental hurdle he has to get over, Al, is when he hits right-handed, and how much movement towards the plate will he continue to have.
Strike three, Headley down looking.
Well, during batting practice, he's got a helmet for, as a right-handed hitter, he's got the little guard. You know, guys do. Jason Hayward got hit in the face. So he feels comfortable from the left side. Obviously, he doesn't have the guard with his left-handed helmet. That pitch was a fastball right down the middle. I got to believe he's looking for something else.
Yeah.
He can't pull the trigger. I know it's 94, but that's right down the middle.
Here's Ichiro. First and second. One man out. We're in the second inning. Yankees and the Rays, beginning of a 3-game set. Oh and 1.
Yeah, every time when I see Ichiro, you know, I think about the dilemma, quote unquote, in spring training. What to do with Ichiro, the surplus of outfielders, and you know, here another year, ho hum, leads the team in batting average. Just a solid, great Major League Baseball player. I know he's aging. Whoa.
Runners will move up on the wild pitch.
He wants to play a couple more years. He's been quoted as saying, "Wow, that just slipped out of Colome's hand."
And Jim Hickey quickly out to the mound. He wants to play a couple more years out because he wants to get to 3,000 hits in the States. Now combined, he has 4,000 hits between his hits here and the hits in Japan, but he definitely wants to get to 3,000 hits here.
You know, I don't know what'll happen. Obviously, he's going to be a free agent after the year, but something about him in Seattle, right? I mean, how many years was he up in Seattle?
10 years, yeah. The problem is that he probably fits best as a fifth outfielder. If he's a fifth outfielder, he's not going to get the 3,000 hits. And is there a place that will give him a semi-regular job?
How many short is he?
Well, last time I looked, he had 90 hits this year, so I'll have to calculate. Thanks for asking me, Al.
You know what? And I wasn't going to ask. I did. I'm sorry. Gosh darn.
Infield halfway, pitch is high. He's got 2,832, which comes out to 168 away.
Thank you.
And really, Al, feel free to put me on the spot whenever you want on live television.
No, but listen,
no, it's fine. It's
time
fine.
out. First of all,
not a big deal. Not a big deal.
Why would there's two people? I'm talking to two other people, right? So why would you say?
But you were looking at me. No, I'm here to be put on the spot. Don't worry.
Oh, it's a baseball game, Michael.
Gotcha. Two. 3-2.
Even with all those numbers you're talking about as John Ryan Murphy on deck, only 19 RBIs. That's what's got to change right here for Ichiro. I mean, they've been struggling all year to get a lead, score runs. One out, infield now up the middle, playing back. Situational hitting opportunity right here. Put this ball in play, middle of the field. Try to get a lead early.
Popped up. That will not get a run in. Escobar makes the catch for the second out.
You can talk about lack of power and injuries and all that all you want, but I mean the situational at bats this year have not been great. Second and third, one out. You got to find a way to put the ball in play and score a run.
Well, we've seen it all year, and we talk about the excruciating losses in Baltimore. Well, that's why. You score one run on Friday, in the first game and you lose 2-1. And you score 2 runs on Sunday and you lose 3-2. You don't give your bullpen a chance to breathe. Every single game is a nail biter. There are no, breathable innings, so to speak. It's tough. It builds up. Here's John Ryan Murphy. 0-1.
Yeah, especially early in the game, they're conceding a run. They've ground ball. And I'm not saying it's easy. 94 running away from you as a left-handed hitter, but to pull that ball on the ground, if you're going to make a productive out, that's it. And that's it. 1 run early here or there is the difference between how it looks in the 8th and 9th inning.
Three infielders on the left side for John Ryan Murphy. You wonder where they get their scouting. I mean, he has not been in the big leagues that much to put together a schematic that would tell you that he pulls everything. I mean, he has had big league at bats, but they're going by a very small sample size.
Well, obviously, they have a lot more information than we do. When I watch John Ryan Murphy, whether it's in spring training or at the beginning of the year, he hits the ball all over the place, has a little power the other way. The Rays have all this information, and they use it to their advantage.
High fly ball, right center. Will Myers makes the call on the catch, and the Yankees do not get the runners in. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the second. 0-0. For the start of the final week of the regular season. The first 18,000 guests in attendance are going to receive a pair of Yankees texting gloves courtesy of Starter. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees Clubhouse shops, or you can call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Chris Capuano finishing up his warm-ups. I want to apologize to all of our viewers. I found sound a little stuffed up. I'm battling a cold, and John and Al are wearing hazmat suits up here because there's a good chance they'll catch this cold as well. So I'm sorry, guys.
You should be sorry.
I know. I'm right next to you in the middle.
I'm sorry.
You notice I'm turning to Al the whole game?
Which tells me how drastically you don't want to get sick.
Whoa. What does that mean?
He's not a fan. I don't know if you realize that.
Oh, God. Michael, you've been an awful teammate.
Here's Logan Forsythe. Forsythe, 4 hits and 46 at bats. His average has dropped to 226. And there's a strike. Just trying to get a picture of Darren.
Well, I'm sure a lot of the fans here in Tampa are disappointed Derek not in the starting lineup tonight, but it's a good night off for him. He's struggling big time at the plate. We talked about the travel and the late night. Still, the fans excited just to get a look and a glimpse.
You got it. Yeah, that's fair enough, right? These fans coming in, tickets, Derek Jeter, might be the last time you see him live.
Now, you guys find it strange they're honoring him tomorrow night instead of Wednesday?
Yeah, I would understand why it would be tomorrow if it was an outdoor stadium and you're worried about a rain out. I don't understand why it wouldn't be Wednesday.
Right.
Did you guys see the story in the New York Times today from David Waldstein?
No.
That that David actually calculated how many swings Derek Jeter's had in his career.
Game swings, obviously?
No, every kind of swing. Batting practice, in the off season, spring training. It was quite an endeavor.
Just give me a...
So you're going to try to figure this out, Al?
Yeah, I'm going to guess. Can you give us a chance?
Now, this is one of those things I couldn't even come up with a guess.
Really?
Because what, does Waldo go into the cage every day and calculating how many swings he takes?
I got a good picture. Yeah. Derek Jeter took part in it because he thought it started out as a batting practice conversation where the guys said, I wonder how many swings this guy's had. You got it yet, Al?
No, just give me a little bit more. I'm close.
You know, Waldo actually asked me a couple of weeks ago.
And you want to know part of it?
No. He said, was Derek one of your ex-teammates who took the most swings before a game to get ready? And I told him not even close. Like, Derek was one of those guys, if he's going good, he doesn't swing a whole lot. And then on the flip side, if he's struggling, he'll take a lot of extra work. So there's my problem with the numbers.
Okay.
How does he know on a daily basis?
Well, it's not going to be exact. He's going to guess, right?
Fouled away. Well, there are certain things he took for granted. And he said that before spring training begins, he goes into a camp, 30 light swings the first 4 days, multiplied by 22 Januaries and Februaries. Next 4 days in January increases to roughly 50 swings a day, so that's another 4,400, and on and on. Well, we're waiting for Al's final number. The 3-2, strike three. Forsythe down looking.
All right.
And there's David Waldstein.
All right, I'm going to say in game 48,500
for a 20-year career.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, and then that's based on 4 pitches per plate appearance, and I averaged 600. And I know it's a little less, but I'm going to go 48,000. So that's based on 4 at bats per plate appearance. So I would probably quadruple that. I'm going to say 250,000 swings.
Close. Loney with a high fly ball. Shallow right. Coming in is Ichiro. Well, according to Waldo's projections, by the end of this season, Derek will have taken approximately 341,980 swings in his life. And give or take 10,000 to either side. And Waldo went even further. He said, assuming each swing takes a second from the time he lifts up his foot, that equals 5,685 minutes or 94.8 hours, nearly 4 days of nonstop swinging. Waldo has a lot of time on his hands. Sean Rodriguez takes low.
I remember reading Albert Pujols' SI article, one of the offseason, said he likes to swing the bat 25,000 times before the season. From whenever he starts, I don't know, November. And that's dry swings, heavy bat, speed bat. I don't know. It sounds like a lot. It's like a couple hundred swings a day.
Obviously, I wasn't swinging enough. Whatever he wants to do, Pujols obviously has had a great career. I would say the ex-teammate that I remember swinging the most was Tony Clark, who's now the new leader of the Players Association, switch hitter. He would take hundreds of swings in the cage before he even went out on the field.
You know who worked a lot? Donnie.
Yeah, and they said that might have hurt his back.
Well, and Pags.
Yeah.
Pags would he would not stop. Even Mattingly would, because they would always go down to the cage together.
Popped up, drifting back Prado, and that will do it. Here in the second as the Rays go down in order 1-2-3. We go to the third, 0-0. Derek Jeter just made a friend. Can I have a picture? Yes, there you go. Races is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, replay reviews, scores, live radio broadcasts, the MLB.tv game of the day, and more. Get at bat for your smartphone or tablet on the App Store or visit MLB.com. Al's drawing a face on the glove.
Looks like a face. Not anymore.
Good job, Al.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
Brendan Ryan will lead off. He's playing shortstop as Jeter has the night off. Popped up. Myers is there. One away. People on Twitter help me out, John, about the question you had. Why would they have the day tomorrow?
Yeah.
They said because that maximizes 2 days. So people want to see the ceremony. It boosts attendance tomorrow, and then the last game that Derek will ever play here will probably have a boosted attendance anyway. So our listeners, viewers are thinking outside the box. We weren't.
You know what? Yeah. Al and I were having a little conversation about how smart this organization is baseball-wise, limited payroll, and doing a nice job. And now their PR department, would that be under their marketing?
Probably, yeah.
That's a nice move.
Yep.
It makes sense.
It does, right? I thought I was going to throw in Alex Cobb as pitching the last game. Pretty good pitcher.
Audi A3 scoreboard, 0-0. tripped up. Escobar makes the play for the second out.
Spent 5 years as a Tampa Bay Devil Ray and played in front of a lot of sparse crowds here at Tropicana Field. And you know what? The Rays now not having a great year. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're in that spoiler mode. There's players out on the field, though. The Yankees come in town. You get a little better crowd the next 2 nights. There'll be a little juice in here. Kind of get you through that last month of September.
Gardner takes low.
Well, they keep putting out a winner. Since '08, only the Yankees have had more wins than this organization. With, as you say, John, low payroll. Some of the lowest in the game. But something's got to give, because, you know, every time you develop a star, you have to trade him. David Price was the latest one. James Shields. Matt Garza. You know, it's an ongoing thing where they just can't sustain star players.
Unless they sign him like they did with Longoria.
That's true, Mike. You know, high payroll, big money ticket.
And their owner, Stuart Sternberger, has said the payroll's going to come down. This was an aberration payroll where they were going for it. So it's coming down next year. He guaranteed it. They're last in baseball in attendance. And it won't be that hard for them to get the payroll down because you don't have Price's $16 million contract. So you don't have to drop anybody. You're just not adding a big name pitcher like David Price.
Well, the one thing they do have is stability with that manager. His 9th year as the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays, Joe Madden. Who I know for the last couple of years we do that spring training show, and we're like, you know what, they can't do it again. They can't do it again. And they always keep doing it. This year, obviously not the same story, but I think a big reason why is Joe Madden and his attitude that he brings to this club every day. I can't believe it's been 9 years already.
He's the 3rd longest tenured manager, behind Ron Gardenhire in Minnesota and Mike Scioscia in Anaheim.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Gardner down on strikes. Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd here at the Trop. 0-0 on Yes.
We head to the bottom of the third. Hey, everyone, I'm Meredith Morakovitz. It's time now for the injury update brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center, Montefiore-inspired medicine. As I told you, big day for Masahiro Tanaka. This afternoon, he threw 5 simulated innings, allowed 6 hits, struck out 4 in the process, threw 65 pitches, and the biggest thing out of this outing, guys, is the fact that he came through and did not feel anything in that arm. Now, the Yankees are still kind of crossing their fingers, hoping that he wakes up and doesn't feel anything in that arm tomorrow. So that'll be the next step. And Joe Girardi and Larry Rothschild both did not rule out the possibility that Masahiro Tanaka could have his next outing be right here in the majors, maybe this weekend against the Blue Jays. He said they may consider giving him an extra day just due to the fact that he is battling some arm issues. But, guys, a good sign as far as Masahiro Tanaka is concerned, the fact that they could get him back and really test that arm, because Tanaka has said he's trying to throw 100%, but it's a lot different throwing in a simulated game as opposed to a major league game.
Here's Kurt Casale, and there's a strike. Meredith, you were there. I was reading your tweets as you live tweeted it. Did he get hit hard?
Early on, he did get hit kind of hard. The first inning, he gave up a single, then got a double play, gave up a deep double. The second inning, he seemed to get a little bit better. By the 4th and the 5th inning, he seemed as though he was really dialed in, kind of the old Tanaka. And it's hard to say because he is facing instructional league batters, but there are guys in the batter's box. And Larry Rothschild said in those last 2 innings, there was a difference. The way the ball was coming out of his hand, the force behind the ball. Also, his delivery was pretty quick. It quickened things up there, leading you to believe he was feeling more comfortable on the mound. And as far as the velocity was concerned, he threw about 92 miles an hour, maxed out there, which is pretty consistent with what we've seen this year, anywhere from 90 to about 93, 94 miles an hour.
Now, I'm just curious, Meredith. I heard when you talked to Joe Girardi and you see the Audi A3 scoreboard, nothing, that he said he could pitch as soon as this weekend. If that happens, then he could pitch twice before the end of the season. If he doesn't pitch this weekend, what happens then?
Well, Brian Cashman spoke at the stadium the other day, and he said, we are finding out one way or another here with Tanaka. We're going to have him throw. Worst case scenario, the season ends and he's still not on a mound, but still believes he can make it back next season. They will in some way, shape, or form find a simulated game or game-type situation for him to throw in, because they need to know heading into this offseason and heading into next season where they stand and where that elbow stands. If they feel as though he can't pitch and be effective and he has pain, well, he could be headed towards surgery. But right now, all indications are that Masahiro Tanaka is feeling pretty good.
All right, thank you, Meredith. We'll hear from you in the post game. Now, Al, you've had arm problems, and I'm just going to play devil's advocate here. The pitch is over, is a strike. Getting him on the mound to pitch 5 or 6 innings, what does that prove? I mean, he might not blow it out in those 5 or 6 innings. And in the first game in spring training, he might. I mean, are you really going to find anything out if you pitch him one time?
Well, possibly. And, yeah, good point. You could blow out at any time in your career. Every time you throw a baseball, it's unnatural. I would say this, Michael, that if I was Masahiro Tanaka and I went through all of the rehab and all of the things that take place when you're DL'd and you're injured.
Right.
And I'm trying to convince the training staff and the general manager and my manager and coach that I feel good. I feel better. I don't know whether it's 100%, 98%, 85%, but I feel better. If it's something that I was told that I need to feel what it's like to pitch 100% in a game that matters, and I can do that prior to the winter without having an issue, I would like to try it. I would. Because if I wait all winter and I wait until February 18th or March 3rd in my first spring training game, and then I start feeling again, now the clock starts then. I think the issue is this. If he's able to pitch 100% game major league start with that effort and that intensity, and he doesn't feel anything, it's comforting for him to go through a winter. I would think that.
But it seems like the Yankees want him on the mound. I mean, I think he wants to pitch, but the Yankees are dead set on seeing what they have with him.
Of course.
But what are they seeing in one start is my point. What exactly do they see? I mean, is he putting that much stress on his arm?
Well, you're going to put the stress that's necessary to pitch in a big league game. I think there's the curiosity as to let's see what it looks like and let him either have an issue and let's address it, or
right.
He gets out with flying colors. I feel great. He pitches great, and something that put his head on the pillow in the wintertime and feel like, okay, this is what I'm going to work toward. I mean, you hear it. We heard it with Matt Harvey. He wanted to throw, pitch, backing him off. I know what you're saying. The quandary is that just Leave him alone. Let him continue to rehab, and we'll see you on February 15th.
But I know what you're saying. If it's bad, you have the surgery now. If you do it February 15th, you might miss him for a little bit of the next year as well.
Well, you'll miss for sure 15.
Right.
At least here.
But you might miss a little of 16 if you have it in February. Sometimes it's 14 months instead of 12. Let's just hope that it doesn't happen. It's a 10% tear.
I mean, this is going to be a constant issue with him, though, keeping everything strong around that ligament, right? Which is what rehab is all about, is basically protecting the injury that you have and being able to compete at a major league level with that level of intensity.
I would think if there's even a remote uncomfortable twinge that Masahiro Tanaka is feeling, I got to believe that would be conveyed to Steve Donahue, and Larry Rothschild, and Joe Girardi. And they're not going to put him in a situation where they think it's going to blow and keep pushing this guy to that limit. I just think he feels good. I was actually over there. I saw it. I didn't sit behind the radar gun, but he looked like Masahiro Tanaka.
Well, I was going to ask you, with your eyes, he looked the same to you.
I thought he did. There was a couple. I know Meredith had mentioned, there were some hard hit balls. I don't know who they were, minor league guys. And a couple guys stayed on his split. There were some splits that are up. A couple lefties went the other way. Nice line drive shots. He did settle down. He said he maxed out at 92, so that's a little short. But I think that velocity also gets an uptick just based on big league outing, stadium, adrenaline, etc.
Now, one thing that we should emphasize, the Yankees aren't doing this willy-nilly and go, well, let's see what he can. They're being told by doctors he does not need surgery, that you should try to rehab it. The Yankees are listening to the doctors that he was sent to see, and they said it's a 10% tear. He should be able to rehab it and pitch. So it's not like the Yankees are going to try to get him to pitch when he shouldn't be pitching. This is from doctors' orders to the Yankees.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, and we heard this our whole careers, Al. You could throw any player, pitcher in an MRI tube and take pictures of his elbow or shoulder, and there are going to be little tears in there, right? Sure. Yeah. So you keep everything strong around, and we don't know enough about his situation, but there are plenty of pitchers who can pitch with a minor tear of your ligament if you keep everything else strong around it.
Yeah, there's a level of blood supply that it gets stronger to where it's as strong as it was, once all the inflammation, et cetera, gets out of there. Look, you make a good point, and I think part of the detection process now is making everybody, on pins and needles. For every time a guy throws, he has a little tweak, and he mentions to the trainer, and there's this whole protocol, and all of a sudden they're in an MRI tube. You get the pitchers tonight, Alex Colomé, Chris Capuano, right after they're done, send them down there to Shands or whatever the hospital is here, and have them do an MRI. There are micro tears every time you throw a baseball.
But they didn't just stick Tanaka in an MRI tube. He complained his arm was hurting.
Of course, no. I'm not being flippant about it. I mean, he definitely had something to alert, the medical staff.
1-1. 2-1.
I'm just impressed. I was out laying by the pool, and he's over at the minor league complex scouting.
Yeah, both of them, Meredith and Al. And he was dressed for the occasion too. I don't know if you saw the shot. He had shorts on. He was ready. If they needed him to take a couple of hacks, he was ready. But the ones I was most impressed with, Meredith and Girardi, because they both got in at 4 or 5 in the morning, and they still. I don't know what Al did. Look at Al there, right there.
Do you have sneakers on, or do you have flip flops? What are you going with?
I think I had like little boat shoes.
Nice. And you're next to George King.
Very colorful shirts, both of you.
Popped up. And out of play, although Meredith is throwing a teammate under the bus.
I saw that.
He just said that Al left after the second inning.
It was actually 3 innings. Meredith, I actually went elsewhere because I felt a little silly standing on that beat writer row. I'm standing there. I'm just enjoying whatever. I had my Starbucks, and I went on the other side. So thank you, Meredith. It was actually 3 innings.
3 more innings than I saw.
You don't need that. You got scouting eyes from far distance.
3-2. Runner goes, and Longoria walks. So 2 successive walks with 2 outs. Brings up Will Myers.
I don't mind that walk so much. You know, anytime you get 2 quick outs, the Brandon Guyer walk is something, you know, get up, get in. But he got behind there. And, you know, once you start to mess around Longoria, I mean, you got a guy that's got great power, could change the game quickly. And Chris Capuano's a guy that, you know, you got to pitch ahead. Pitch ahead. He's been standing up some of these right-handers. We've seen some locked up fastballs. Really well executed location-wise.
Popped him up. Brendan Ryan will make the play, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Let's go to the 4th. 0-0 on Yes. New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. Call 1-866-NY-QUITS for free help today. From 1990 to 1999, who are the only 2 Yankees to hit at least 30 home runs in a season? Wow. I would think there were more.
Right?
I think I know one.
Well, yeah.
Right? Thinking the same one? No. That's not one thing.
This one?
Nope.
I got a different guy then.
Here's Martin Prado. Prado grounded to third in the first. Lincoln scoreboard 0-0. And there's a strike from Colomé.
There's usually there's got to be what, some Tampa Bay tie, somebody in the stadium. Did you do it, John?
30 home runs, not even in my career, no.
Grounded in the hole, backhanded by Escobar, the long throw, and Prado with an infield hit.
Well, I think these are the type of hits that Joe Girardi, the manager, Steve Donahue, the trainer, are just crossing their fingers that Prado is going to come out of it okay. Just out of the reach of Rodriguez. Escobar, the backhand and the throw across the diamond, but Prado nursing that hamstring. You know he wants an infield hit. It doesn't get through, and now you're thinking, I got to try to pick it up a little bit. The hamstring holds on. An infield hit to lead off. everything that I had heard about Colomé was good arm, but a little erratic with his control. Through 3 innings, so far so good, has not walked anybody.
Colomé's 25 years old, and this is the 95th game started by a Rays pitcher that's 26 or younger. That's a great sign for a team. Only 2 teams have started more games with younger pitchers, Miami with 108 and Houston with 106. The 0-1. Now Colomé was called up along with infielder Nick Franklin and left-handed pitcher C.J. Riefenhauser from AAA Durham, who lost to the Pawtucket Red Sox in the Governor's Cup Finals on Saturday. So the Rays' active roster is now 33 players. And that's the Governor's Cup is the championship of the International League.
The Pawtucket Red Sox are obviously a Red Sox AAA affiliate.
He's shown a couple different fastballs. It's not just the 4-seam boring away. He cuts it a little bit. He's got the big breaking ball and occasional change. And I agree with you, John. I think he's effectively wild. You know, you get a guy with a live arm. He's not really sure where exactly it's going, and some of these at bats can be a little uncomfortable because of it. But they got to figure out. I believe he's got another option, but this is interesting down the stretch. He's out of options, so he's out of options. So this is an arm where, meaning, you know, you got to keep him on the roster, and he's a big league pitcher. And I think what the Rays are not sure of, he's got a big league arm. You know, is he a reliever? You know, is this a guy that you eliminate third and fourth pitch? Hey, you're a fastball slider, fastball changeup guy, and hone that in.
Yeah, Joe Madden had mentioned he'll get at least one more start, but he will pitch out of the bullpen. And that's just a perfect pitch right there at 95 on the outside corner. So kind of to your point, Al, they're going to get a look in both roles here in the month of September, knowing that he's going to be part of their big league staff next year. It's just whether it's a starter or a reliever.
Boy, that was pain.
Ooh.
Here's Carlos Beltran. Single to left center in the second, and we're in the fourth inning. 0-0. Yankees and Rays. First game of a 3-game set. 3 infielders on the right side for Beltran, swinging from the left side. 1-0. Fly ball center field. Zobrist makes the play.
Third baseman, number 12, Chase Henry.
Here's Chase Headley. A late shift by the Rays. And Headley thought about bunting toward third.
Well, not a bad idea. Rodriguez, the third baseman, now positioned at shortstop. You drop anything down the third base line. Get 2-out hit.
Down
like
2-0.
Why not? Get the line moving. I said this earlier in the year, I guess, when McCann was hitting bullets at short right field and getting thrown out. Like, go, I middle lineup. You're supposed to hit home runs. I get all that, but just you have the entire left side. Just hit 1,000 for 2 weeks.
You know what? I also think as a hitter, you know when you're locked in and you know when you're scuffling a little bit. And maybe if you're locked in, you say, 2-0 fastball right there would have taken a big swing. But if you're not 100%, and Headley obviously getting hit a few days ago back in the lineup, I agree. I'll drop it down. Next time you come up, they'll probably play a regular defense against you.
Right. It's the fast guy that they bring you in. The third baseman's in just because they think you're going to bunt. You just increase your chances of getting a base hit by him because he's now in. And you just show it.
We never had to deal with these exaggerated shifts. And I constantly go back to, would I do things differently to try to combat it? Or would I be as stubborn as these guys have been this year, watching it all season?
What's your answer when you ask yourself?
You know what? I got to believe that I would be able to hit a ball because I was a big-time pull hitter. So there's no doubt they would have had the shift on me exaggerated to pull. But I think I'd like to believe I'd be able to hit a 14 hopper the other way and force it that way and pick up a base hit.
Wait. So time out. You had a how many game hitting streak?
27.
So I got to believe you were hitting it all over the place.
That was when I was a little better. By the end of my career, I was all pull. So that's kind of what's vivid in my mind. But in batting practice, the first 8 or 10 swings were all to the right side. So I got to believe I would try to do it.
Prado goes from first, 3-2. Grounded to first. Loney makes the play, and that will do it. No runs to hit, no errors. One man left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Nothing. New York State the Smokers Quit Line quiz from 90 to 99. Who are the only two Yankees hit at least 30 home runs in the season? I think Tino's one of them. And the other was on Seinfeld, I'm told. Bernie? I don't think O'Neill hit 30.
Tartable. Cecil.
Tartable.
Tartable. Tino, 44.
I was thinking, how many home runs would Mike Stanley hit a year? I guess he was a 20 to 25 guy.
Yeah.
Good guy, too.
So that gives him a little more clout.
I like him.
Just shot. He just shot you.
Look, well, how was that a shot?
I don't know. Catcher thing.
Here's Escobar. getting back to the shift, all right? And you said, you weren't sure whether you would go that way, but you probably, if let's say, how like teams have bonding excursions, and that a manager took his whole team to a baseball tournament, and there was a little booth, free hits. Who wouldn't take them? Why don't people take free hits? Those are free hits for a team that doesn't hit. Why don't they take free hits?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, and just think about what they're facing tonight. A guy's throwing 94, good off-speed pitches. It's not that easy just to walk up there and say, you know what, I'm going to line drive the other way.
For me, I couldn't do it. But these are major league players.
And the thing that I think is that it's not that easy to hit line drives the other way, but you can, like, break a bat and hit a 8-hopper the other way. That would be a base hit. Would you change the way you pitched out? Looking back and watching the defense behind you and think to yourself, I got to, well, you always pounded guys in with your cutter, but lefties maybe pitch a little different.
I think I would figure out a way to have my defense, the way it's optimized in its shift, that I would try to pitch somewhat to the defense. Now, I say that reluctantly because every pitcher has a strength and weakness. So you don't want guys to get out of the way they pitch.
Now, you pitched overhand, right? If there was something that if you threw the ball underhand, it was a free out, would you throw the ball underhand or would you be stubborn?
100% of the time I'd throw it underhand.
Right. So
between my legs.
There's a guy with a red and white striped shirt, a carnival barker, screaming free hits. I mean, you got to be awfully cocky not to take free hits.
Listen, I hope you didn't direct that to me because I've done a handful of games with you, and I can't figure it out. I even say it in jest, but let's see the guys that have major shift do it nonstop until they make the change, and you'll bet 1,000.
And I also believe that you're going to see different players and different skill sets get called up from major leagues. The swing and miss guys, if you're just going to try to hit through the shift and hit 220, they're going to bring up guys that can spray the ball around line to line.
I agree with you. I think that we've gone through a generation of baseball where the strikeout is not that big of a deal. You're rewarded for hitting home runs, and now I think situational hitting is going to become more important. Putting the ball in play and being able to hit the ball line to line.
Grounded to third, gobbled up by Headley. One away.
And Al, I ask you about pitching. Would you pitch differently? Because I know as a catcher, and I always saw where we played defensively, your first thought is, I'm pitching to that defense. But then you hear general managers, Brian Cashman and everybody saying, we told our guys, don't pitch differently. Just don't even pay attention. That's hard to do.
Yeah, it is hard to do, especially if I'm in a sequence of pitches, especially as the game goes along. Because, look, everybody knew the way I threw. I threw in a lot to right-handed hitters, occasionally away, occasional backdoor curveball, whichever. That's my scouting point. But there was times during the game, and you know this, John, that you would change that a little bit. Here, first pitch, backdoor curveball, Capuano. Beautiful. It's a great get-in-the-count pitch. I might get a vibe where I think he's getting to the cutter inside. And you see it too. And all of a sudden, defensively, we're playing way to shift on the left side of the infield, and now I'm throwing two-seamers away. I always thought this when I'd go over scouting point and I'd say he's a fastball hitter. Well, whose fastball? Which fastball am I looking at? When I used to do video scouting, I would try to find left-handers that were similar. If I got an Andy Pettit tape. He used to bore the cutter in. Even Boomer had the big curveball, but he had about what I had, velocity. I wasn't going to look at Randy Johnson, and I didn't want to look at Tommy Glavine or Jamie Moyer because they were different. So who's fastball? Dave Stewart used to say that. Played with Stu in Toronto. He's a fastball hitter, but can he hit my fastball?
The 1-2. Now, Mark Teixeira earlier this year actually said, I am not paid to hit singles. And his mentality is that it's taking him out of his game and thinking too much at the plate. As a result, he quote-unquote settles for singles. And that would mean that the shift was working.
He says he settles for singles?
If he did that, he'd be settling for a single, and he's not paid to hit singles.
All right, so I argue that immediately because he's batting .218, and I know it's injury riddled, and he just hasn't had consistent work. But I go back to this, and I remember the scouting report on Craig Biggio. Biggio would fake a bunt in his first at-bat every single game. And right away, manager, infield coach, hey, third base, come on in. And it was just a ploy to cut the angle down. My argument would be, if you started showing the Joe Maddons of the world that you were trying to go to left center, shifts might change a little bit.
Right.
So your batting average, you're cutting into the teeth of it at 218 clip. I think it goes up as a result of you showing that you can go the other way. It's got to go up. He's a better hitter than 218.
Well, here's what I would say. He has 58 RBIs.
Right.
So he is paid to drive in runs. Would he agree? I'm sure he would agree with that.
Yep.
So when there are opportunities with runner on second base, and we've talked about it all year long, there's a free hit and, more importantly, a free RBI. So how many more RBIs would he have at this point? 15, 20? So now all of a sudden you're talking about a better year. Batting average obviously gets better, but for me with Mark and every middle of the lineup guy, it's RBIs and production.
2-2 count on Logan Forsythe, who struck out in the second. We're in the bottom of the fourth. It's 0-0. Yankees in the Rays. Fly ball right field. Ichiro called off by Ellsbury for the second out. I wonder, spring training next year, team gathers around, Kevin Long, Joe Jordan. This is what we're doing. We're bunting to get hits against the shift. Can you order players to do that?
Yeah.
Bunt. Well, I don't know if you can order them to bunt. I guess you can.
You just put the bunt on.
Yeah, but how about...
I'm not saying he would do that.
We're telling you to hit the ball the other way. Not,
right. Okay, can you do that?
Yeah. Yes.
And what if the players go, I can't?
Well, I'll tell you what, give us a shot.
You work on it in spring
So
training.
here, this is what you do. You go on the second field, backfield, whatever they do at this stadium, the one to the right there in Tampa, and bring over minor leaguers. Set up the shift, the Joe Maddon shift. And Teixeira is going to face, we're just using Mark, it could be McCann or whoever else. And he's going to face a couple minor league arms, and you're going to try to hit away from the shift.
Oh, they ran into each other and the ball falls to the turf. Loney will go to second, and he is in there. So a little miscommunication between Gardner and Ellsbury.
Well, we saw Ellsbury calling off Ichiro, and here you just don't know if there was a lack of communication. Brett Gardner going for it. You see Ellsbury calling it. The center fielder always has priority. You wonder if it was a little too late calling that ball. It goes off the glove of Brett Gardner. It'll be an error on Brett. Off the left-handed bat, you would assume it would be slicing towards left field, back towards Brett Gardner.
So runner on second for Sean Rodriguez. Bottom of the fourth, 0-0. Rays have just one hit in the game. Loney reaches on a two-base error by Gardner. And a strike.
Well, Al, you mentioned in your scouting report rebound for Capuano, and he's done that in this game. Only lasted a third of an inning the last time against Tampa at home. Only given up one hit here with 2 outs in the fourth. I think he's gotten those bad thoughts obviously out of his mind and now settling into a nice rhythm.
Yeah, there's no question a game like that could get you mad, get you focused, just have a different thought process. There's an aggressive mindset to being successful as a pitcher. You have to be confident. I don't care if you throw 85 or 95. You got to have that look of, this is what I have. I feature what I do, and I'm going to be attacking. Aggressive in the zone. And right now, Capuano, I think he's standing up some righties. He's got that backdoor hook. Changeup has been good. That pitch right there, stand up.
And Rodriguez down looking. So the Yankees survive the error. The Rays strand a runner. We go to the 5th. 0-0. Against the Yankees, taking 3 out of 4. We thank Bob. We'll hear from Bob and Jack and Meredith later on. Any relation to Ryan Flaherty? Have you looked into that?
I have not looked into it, but I do not know Ryan Flaherty, so I'm assuming that there's no relation. I'm sure back in the homeland,
right?
We're probably related in some way.
All right.
Back in Dublin,
County Cork or County Kerry, maybe.
County Kent.
Finishing up strong.
That's where my mom's from.
Really?
Grandmother. She's more Irish than English. I just found that out a few years ago.
But your mom's English.
Explains a lot of things. Yeah, my mom was born in England.
Lovely woman.
Thank you.
Can you imagine trying to discipline Al? Can you just imagine what the kitchen table was like?
Can you imagine how much energy he must have had as a toddler,
because
as a youngster?
Instead of Red Bull, it was grape juice, and he's banging off the walls, I'm sure.
They always say, oh, he'll grow out of it. He'll grow out of it.
He didn't.
Never grown out of it.
I just have to add, she had 6 boys.
Oh.
1 girl. And all just as interesting as I am.
Now, Al, people don't know this. Al's twins with his sister.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
13 minutes older, Alexia.
The 0-1. 1-1 to Ichiro.
You know, speaking of that, I have to congratulate my younger brother Keith and his lovely wife Alexis. They just had their 3rd child, Joseph James Flaherty.
Love it, J.J. Flaherty.
Yes.
Joseph James.
Congratulations.
Just came home yesterday to his 2 sisters, so it's a busy household.
So is that it for the bro? The 3 kids?
That is it.
That's it.
2 girls and a boy. Call it a day.
The 2-1. Fouled away. Fans, you can now tweet at Yes Network your best fan photo using hashtag YesFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown during the game. Brought to you by AT&T. 2-2. Two. 3-2 on Ichiro. Bottom third of the Yankee order against Colome. And the 3-2.
It is still pretty amazing. 40 years old, Ichiro. Did you say he's up to 4,000 between Japan and?
Oh yeah, that one.
All right, so he's over 4,000. I mean, just 40 years old, you got to cheat a little bit. I mean, here's a guy that really never walked that much, doesn't strike out much. Still more than capable of having good quality at bats in the big leagues. And here just fights it off, makes pitchers work.
Fly ball down the left field line. Long run for Geyer, and he can't make the play.
It was a play you thought Geyer would make pretty easily, and it just bounces out of his glove. He covers a lot of ground, slicing away from him off the lefty's bat. I'm sure a play he's thinking that he should have made. Ichiro's hand-eye coordination has to be off the charts. I mean, because the way he hits, with all the movement, I mean, you cannot teach that. And I always get into arguments with people, is hitting just a natural gift that you were born with? And I think you can make a hitter better. But his hand-eye coordination has got to be through the roof.
Right back to Colome, one away. You know, Bob Lawrence has incredible hand-eye coordination, so we throw it back to him to see. Thank you, Bob. I'll tell you what a great first job for Matt Williams. That team was ready, prime. Usually you get your first job, and it's a bad team, but Matt Williams got a good team, and Brad Ausmus's got a good team.
Yep. Looks like Brad Ausmus and the Tigers have righted the ship, getting the Kansas City Royals out of there, putting it more in the rearview mirror. Not much, but big series they had.
So Victor Martinez starting to get some MVP consideration, huh? Starting to hear his name a little bit in Detroit. Having a big year.
And will be a free agent.
You talk about a guy putting the ball in play, not striking out.
John Ryan Murphy lost a fly ball to center. AL MVP candidates. Trout having another great year. A lot of people thought he should have been the MVP the last 2 years. You got Martinez, Nelson Cruz with 39 homers, Adam Jones. In the National League, a lot of people think it should be Clayton Kershaw.
Well, now with Stanton down, you know, for as much as I'm a believer that the MVP for the pitchers is the Cy Young Award, I'll tell you what, if there's somebody who deserves it, Kershaw deserves it.
How much time did he miss this year?
Like a month, first month, I think.
And he's got 19 wins.
Yep. Might even be a little bit more than the first month.
Could win the Triple Crown of ERA, strikeouts, and wins for pitchers.
Base hit for Brendan Ryan. That breaks an 0 for 15 slide for Ryan. Let's look at the NL candidates, which include Kershaw, Buster Posey, another good year, Giancarlo Stanton, did he do enough? And Andrew McCutchen.
19-3.
Mattingly told me Clayton Kershaw is the best pitcher he's ever seen. Obviously a little biased. He gets to run him out there every 5 days, but he's the best pitcher he's ever seen. He said, I didn't get a chance to see Guidry when Guidry was in his prime. He said, but this is the best pitcher I've ever seen.
Guidry's ERA around that year he won 25 games?
1.73.
1.73.
In a DH league. Here's Jacoby Ellsbury. Popped up. Loney makes the play, and that'll do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We're halfway through after 4.5. Yankees nothing and the Rays nothing. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on Yes. Today's New York Life agent of the day is Robert H. Petroselli from the Manhattan office. Buy Domino's. Order from Domino's.com today, and don't forget to track your order. And by the 2014 Mazda 3 with seamless connectivity. Tropicana Field is a hot day here in the Tampa St. Pete area. One of the days that you really do like the fact that this game is being played indoors. 0-0. And the Rays have managed just 1 hit against Capuano. That was a leadoff single in the first by Ben Zobrist. Kurt Casale leads it off. Now, Al, we were talking about your mom.
Yes.
And Jack Curry, I guess, wrote a story about you. And he pulled out your mom's rules for parenting. He said Maria Leiter had this rule: always be at home when any of her 7 kids return from school. Al called her, quote, strongest, most patient, most understanding woman I know.
Yes.
She must have been a saint.
That's right. Jack, when he was with
the Times,
the New York Times, did a beautiful Mother's Day story. She's like 4'10", 4 feet 10 inches.
Really?
And you know, they're all, my brothers are my size.
Now, speaking of you and your life, do you know where you were this day, 1987?
Yes, I do.
Tell us.
I was pitching my Major League debut up at the Yankee Stadium.
And do you know who the first batter you got out was?
Well, Paul Molitor hit a little blooper in front of Dave Winfield, and then struck out the next guy. All I remember is Paul Molitor.
You don't remember your first strikeout?
Mike Felder.
I think his first 6 outs were strikeouts. And the Yankees won the game 4-3.
So the funny story of this was, because Dave Righetti, I love him. mentor, look up to him still to this day, love talking to him. He comes in after he saves the game, and he gives I guess the save ball, whoever, last out, comes up to me and he's like, sign it. He's such, he's a smart man. And I get the ball, and I'm thinking it's a team ball. And I signed it on the horseshoe. Oh, boy. Rags didn't live it down. He had a couple nice choice words for me, called me a couple names, all in fun. And I didn't realize Dave Rigetti, he's a stud, wanted me to sign the ball because he wanted to save it. Pretty cool.
Cool.
And I thought it was a team ball.
The 3-2. Let's look at some old school lighter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who's that? Rob Deere? Joe Carter. Oh, no, that's not the opener.
Well, you were a rail. Right? You were much thinner than you pitched later when, right? I
was 205 when I signed.
Right.
I was probably 215 there. My last year in pro ball was 225. It keeps going up.
Kept it real?
What?
You kept it real?
Yeah.
Yeah. Casali's on first with a walk. Here's Zobrist. Now, knowing how you are now doing a game on TV, how were you on your first start? How did you control your emotions?
Scared to death. I remember walking across the, from left field after warming up. Mark Connor was the pitching coach. Lou Piniella was the manager. And I just remember being genuinely excited but nervous. I scared the word. I guess I was kind of, just the unknown. Didn't want to walk the park. That was my biggest fear because I threw hard and I had no idea where I was throwing it for the most part. So my biggest thing was just throw it over the plate. Just throw strikes.
Who was your catcher that day?
Rick Cerrone. Yeah, so that was neat stuff. It was Rick and Joel Skinner that year. They were the.
Did he help calm you down? Or was he kind of a veteran letting a young guy do his thing and see how it goes?
I think Rick, you know Rick?
Little bit.
Yeah, he's funny. He's a really a kind of a comedian. So he tried, and Lou tried too. Lou was great with me. I know he was tough on young players at times. He was tough on pitchers. I thought Lou was. He really handled me well, I thought.
Your family there?
Yes. Yeah, big moment, right? Your debut, you remember.
The 1-1.
The cool thing for me, guys, just growing up in the area, I was drafted out of high school. I was going to go to University of Florida. I guess Mr. Steinbrenner intervened at some point because I waited a little bit. Our number one pick was Jeff Breeze out of UCLA, and he signed the first day, and it took me like 3 weeks, and they were mad. The late Joe DiCarlo, who was
Were you second round?
I was the second pick, yes. And I don't know, my two brothers were already in pro ball, and I kind of knew the gig, so I was like, all right, I'll do this for a few years and finish up at Rutgers and get a degree.
So what'd you get? What was the bonus?
I got $110,000.
And what'd you do with it?
Bought a car, gave my mom some whatever she needed, and that was it.
2-1. I think I remember that car. Was it a Thunderbird?
No, I'll tell you what, it was the dumbest car. Can you believe I'm at a high school? The Riviera? It was like a LeSabre.
Yes.
I got a Buick Riviera. What a tool. Seriously. 18 years old. I bought like a grandpa car.
Now, Buick Riviera is a cool car now.
Yeah, but it was,
It was kind of boxy then.
Yeah, boxy. That's
right. Al, there's a phone call in the back of the booth from Buick.
You debuted with Tampa Bay.
Boston.
Drafted by Boston.
Yep. I didn't get over $100,000, by the way, to sign.
How much did you get?
I got $5,000 and a $1,500 allowance towards college.
Fly ball. Ellsbury, 1 out.
And I was going to the George Washington University where $1,500 did not go that far. Let's put it that way.
But you signed.
I did. I signed. I was a 25th round pick, but the first catcher taken by the Red Sox. So I thought that I would get some playing time and get a chance. So I decided to go for it.
See, I like those stories better than the top rounds. You got to earn it every step of the way.
Here's Brandon Guyer. He's 0 for 1 with a walk.
Were you a junior or senior?
Junior.
Oh, you're a junior.
Junior, yep.
Line drive, base hit up the middle. Casali will go to second. A single for Guyer.
Little something out over the plate. Changeup looked like off speed. Guyer going right up the middle, staying back on it.
Well, 81 pitches for Capuano has been pretty much in control. Big spot with Longoria coming up. Chase Whitley getting loose in the Yankee bullpen.
Well, on his last at bat, he got behind and kind of pitched around. Got the pop-up to Will Myers. So you start this at bat with your out pitch and expand. Normally pitchers are taught to over the plate, and then as you get into the count, go off the plate. I'd pitch it like it's 0-2 the entire bat.
Lofted to left field. Kind of golfed it out there as Gardner puts it away.
He went right after him. Fastball down and in. Longoria just didn't get the barrel. You see where John Ryan Murphy sets up. Broke his bat. Good location. Let's just wind up and yeah, that's like a golf swing right there.
Here's Will Myers. Walked and popped to short. Blown away.
You know, Michael, I know you asked this question about it. You know, starting pitcher when offense is, you know, struggling to score. You know, you don't think about that early because you just assume your team's going to hit and they're going to score. But in a game like this, now you realize you're in the middle of the game. This is a nice start by Capuano. You know, you want to navigate here. You know, there's guys on base, and he made a nice pitch to Longoria. Yeah, this is a you know, let's get on the same page here. Because it's not just a run. It could be a loss.
It could be the ball game. But
yes.
You know, I wanted to ask you, at 83 pitches, when John Ryan Murphy's catching and he asked Capuano to go in with a fastball, is fatigue a factor at this point in the game at 83 pitches?
I would think not, only because he's really kind of dominating.
Yeah.
I mean, he's given up 2 hits. There's no runs. You know, he kind of navigated through the 3rd inning, couple walks. Like, I consider this kind of a comfortable start. You know, there's confidence with that. Here it is again inside. So, you know, with Chris Capuano, you know, he does 91. That's to me is a good fastball for a guy that, you know, sits at about 89, 90. Uses 3 pitches. But if that's the pitch that he feels comfortable with, and he believes in it and has 100% conviction behind it, you got to go with it.
Yeah, I guess my point is, as a catcher, you don't know how fatigued a guy is. And I've had pitchers say, listen, I know what you wanted to do, but I couldn't get the ball in there because I was starting to feel my legs a little bit.
And it's also, you make a good point, John, and it's a dangerous pitch, right? You know, make guys work. That's why you see closers at the end of the game. They stay away, away, away. They're going to make you go opposite field. It's a harder, you know, especially closer arms or 95 or, you know, the power arm guys. Inside, you miss, and it's not inner third black or off the plate. You know, that's an easier pitch to pull and do some damage. I think so. The strategy tonight with John Ryan Murphy sitting down, scouting report before the game, as they do. Chris Capuano went over his thing, and you know there's a history here. He's a fastball mostly away, changeup with a little power slider slurve. That's it. He's thrown a lot of fastballs in.
Line to left field. Gardner is there, and that will do it as Capuano works out of trouble. No runs, a hit, and 2 men left. Let's go to the 6th inning. Nothing here on Yes. Pitchers brought to you by Verizon Fios, making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet. That's powerful. Michael Pineda gets start for the Yankees against Jake Odorizzi. Our coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. with the pregame show on Yes. Game time will be right around 7:10 on my night. So the Rays getting a good outing out of Alex Colome as he goes to the 6th inning. Two hits for the Rays, 4 hits for the Yankees. Gardner struck out twice.
Well, Alex Colome did no trickery with Brett Gardner, just attacking him with all fastballs. Just like that.
Fouled away, quickly 0-2.
Is there a little bit in you where you struck out twice swinging, and all the opposing pitcher's done is just pounded you with heaters? The third at bat, is there just a slight, is he going to throw something on that heater, or you just don't get off the fastball?
If you let fastballs get by you like that, you can't let it happen again the third time. And it's happened 0-2 quickly. I mean, there are times you strike out a nasty breaking ball and you're like, all right, that's fine. That was a tough hit. But when they're throwing fastballs right by you, that's challenging your manhood a little bit.
Yeah, and I ask you that because the first pitch was 93 down the middle, and he took it. And my first inclination was, maybe he thought first pitch breaking ball. If you looked at Kurt Casale, the catcher for the Rays, he's trying to convince Colome to throw the breaking ball. That previous pitch, he was kind of doing the head nod to Colome. Yeah, this is it. Curveball, throw it.
He didn't throw a good one.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
That good comment. And I want to get to something because I believe watching a lot of youth baseball, high school, right on up, kids don't know how to pitch because they have coaches calling pitches.
Sure, all the way through, right?
All the way through. So, you know, now you get to pro ball, and I assume they call their pitches. Now it's just between you and the catcher. I don't think managers call pitches. And it bothers me when I watch these at the lower level. They're robots. Read bats. That's what Maddox, Greg Maddox, it was special. It was so fun to watch. You can read a bat. Guy out front, does he like the low ball, high ball? You can see that. Is he better on the faster breaking ball, slower? And it bothers me because, you know, you're getting these coaches just, you know, throw what I want, you know, want. Well, how do you know what the conviction is? You're seeing here, Casale's trying to convince Colomé this is the right pitch. I don't know if he feels it. You know?
Yep.
Didn't you want, even if it was the wrong pitch, John, but you wanted the pitcher to have 100% conviction in the wrong pitch, then half-hearted effort in the right pitch?
Even if it's the wrong pitch in my mind, if he believes it's the right pitch, it's going to be a better pitch. He's going to execute. We've seen what in this at-bat, 3 breaking balls, and they've all been terrible. You can tell he's not 100% confident that he wants to throw it.
3-2. Roll with the fastball there. Foul back.
But I could see Casale wanting to incorporate it because it's, you know, it is the big leagues, and eventually I assume, you know, guys will just start catching up to it, and you need to have more than one pitch unless you're throwing 100. And even those guys have to sprinkle an occasional off-speed pitch.
Popped up behind the plate. Casale runs out of room. These two probably work together at AAA, so they know each other well. Popped up. Escobar with the play. One away.
I didn't mind it, John. You know, if because I got cutter happy. Fastball, cutter, fastball, occasional curve. If I had a catcher like that, you were catching, and you get a different perspective. You got a better view. The pitcher's so many things going through his mind, and you double down on a curveball because you just know it's the right pitch. I like that conviction of my catcher to look at you and fist bump and, no, this is it. Come on. I would feed off that positive energy.
There's Prado.
You know, we talk all the time about starting pitchers and having that third pitch and being able to go through a lineup multiple times, and I think that's what we're seeing here. Third time through, trying to throw a few more off-speed pitches to get through a lineup 3 times, because that's probably the biggest challenge, getting through a lineup twice. Okay, but now I got to do it a third time and change up my patterns, my pitch selections, my locations. That's what kind of separates the average starting pitcher from the top end. Unless you had a nasty cutter like you did. Bread and butter pitch, you go to it when you get in trouble.
Count 1-2 on Prado. Prado grounded to third in the first. Had an infield single in the hole at short in the fourth.
That last pitch was not a great. It was more of a cutter. There was a slider in that upper 90 or upper 80 range. That was 90 miles an hour.
Punched out right field. That's going to dunk in there for a base hit. Forsythe runs it down, flips it into second. So a boop single for Prado, who continues to hit. Even has luck on his side.
Yeah, 2 hits tonight for Prado. He hit that home run last night. Infield base hit, and then he just flipped one the other way. See on Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Everything kind of goes out towards third base, but he's flipped the barrel of the bat at the ball. Another line drive in the newspaper tomorrow morning.
And there's a strike to Mark Teixeira.
Based on how Colomé has pitched to Teixeira, everything's going to be away. If he comes in, it's just going to be a show pitch to stand him up. And we see a guy pulling off.
You know, you guys talked earlier about pitching to the shift. The people that put the shifts together, when you see Steven Geltz up, they say no matter where you throw it, the high probability is that they will hit it to the shift. They will not go the other way. So it doesn't matter if you throw it inside or out. Never pitch to the shift. I mean, we saw Teixeira earlier pull an outside pitch. So they don't care if it's outside. All of their information tells them that no matter where you throw the ball, they're going to try to pull it.
Yeah. You know what? I agree with that, because I think there's a reason why there are 230 hitters, 250, 280, 300 hitters. And just take the field and start eliminating part of the field. Your 300 hitter is what Martin Prado did. Kind of fooled out front, nasty pitcher's pitch, and he just serves it out there. You know, guy who's 240 hitter, he's going to pull off that. Or, of course, miss it.
Ground ball to short.
Ground ball to short.
Ground ball to second. There's one. On the first. It's a double play. So Teixeira banks into the double play to end the 6th inning. No runs are hit, no errors, and because of the DP, nobody left on base. Forsythe over to Rodriguez, so it's a 4-5-3 double play to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still looking for a run. Yankee Stadium as the first ever Major League Soccer franchise in the 5 boroughs of New York City. Witness superstars David Villa and Frank Lampard as they lead New York City FC into action. Season tickets to the inaugural campaign of New York City FC Soccer are available at nycfc.com or by calling 855-77-NYC-FC. Well, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, still looking for a run. Chris Capuano still out there on the mound. He'll face Escobar, Forsythe, and Loney. 5 hits for the Yanks, 2 for the Rays. Second base umpire Joe West was involved in a situation with Phillies closer Jonathan Papelbon. We just were told that Papelbon received a 7-game suspension for his actions yesterday. As Papelbon got roughed up and taken out of the game for the Phils. That one's popped up. Ichiro is there for the first out. He made an obscene gesture, but he was getting taken out of the game. And that was when Joe West kind of put himself into the situation. You wonder what his right was as the guy was being taken out of the game.
And obviously, Papelbon had a tough outing. Made a gesture to the fans, I'm assuming, because they were on him.
Right. He did make the gesture. Who knows who it was to, but he did make a gesture coming off the mound.
Now, my question is, you know, as players, we always knew that we could not touch an umpire at all, right? I mean, if you did that, you were immediately gone, suspended. But can an umpire physically touch a player?
I think the only time an umpire can physically touch a player is if there's an altercation. He's trying to get him off someone in some fight. It happened with Joe West when I was teammates with Dennis Cook. Joe West body slammed Dennis Cook, but Denny was in the middle of it. It was kind of, you know, it was a big tussle, you know, the usual, everybody run out, and Dennis Cook was aggressive, and Joe West just boom. But yeah, I saw it, and you know, Papelbon should not have done what he did, and you know, I just don't know. I don't know where the umpire stands on it. Wouldn't this be like your manager or your general manager or your owner?
Should discipline the player, right?
Would have an issue with, hey, you don't do that to your fans. What are you doing? It's not professional.
Now, just to be clear, Papelbon's walking off the field after the obscene gesture, and Joe West throws him out because of the obscene gesture. How's that in his purview?
That was the whole thing. He's in the dugout. Joe West saw what he saw, and he pointed in the dugout and said, "You're out of here." So then now Papelbon comes out, argues with him, whatever. I don't know what he said. And Joe West just took his shirt and just kind of shoved him out of the way. Like pulled him, basically, get out of here.
See, that would be my issue with an umpire, physically touching a player and moving him in a situation where the player wasn't physically touching him.
Right.
Well, the Phillies immediately agreed with the 7-game suspension. They did not like what he did. I'm not talking Joe West, talking Jonathan Papelbon.
Yeah, of course.
I remember when I was a writer, Jack McDowell made an obscene gesture to the crowd walking off the field. He didn't get suspended. I think the Yankees might have fined him, but he didn't get suspended, and the umpire didn't throw him out because he did that. Want to take the time, everybody here at Yes sends our condolences out to Joe Torre, the loss of his brother Frank Torre, who was part of that magical Yankee run in '96 when they were winning the World Series. He had a heart transplant. Joe obviously very, very close with Frank. Frank helped him become a big leaguer, and I know Joe's hurting today, so our condolences to Joe Torre and his family. Three-two count on Forsythe.
Well, Chris Capuano getting up to that 100-pitch count. Adam Warren warming up in the Yankee bullpen. It's one of those great feelings. He's got a 2-hit shutout into the 6th, and this very same team 5 days ago couldn't get out of the first inning.
Fouled away. Eight pitches so far in this at bat. And the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Forsythe down on strikes.
Well, let's take a look at Chris Capuano. I'll tell you what, I love what I've seen here tonight, John. Just an aggressive, confident look. Attacking the zone. Early in the count, he had that backdoor curveball. That's the pitch right there. He's throwing 88 to about 92 tops, standing up right-handers, and having an aggressive look. This was a little backdoor slider again. The slider on both sides of the plate, back foot to the right-hander, backdoor as we just saw there. Nice changeup and an aggressive fastball. He's done a great job.
Here's James Loney. Breaking ball away. We're at the bottom of the sixth, still looking for a run. It's 0-0. Missed outside. Oh, called it a strike. 1-1.
Well, as players, you always know the opponent that beats you up during the year, and it's been James Loney against the Yankees all year long. John Ryan Murphy behind the plate. I'm being very careful here. My pitcher is at 100 pitches. One mistake could be the difference in this ball game. See if Capuano can get the job done.
And he does. Ground ball to Prado. And a 1-2-3 inning for Capuano. Pitcher's duel here at the Trop. Chris Capuano and Alex Colomé. 0-0 as we go to the 7th. It'll be Beltran, Headley, and Suzuki on the Cadillac scoreboard. You see the deal, 0-0. So these two pitchers hooked into a scoreless duel. Both teams have had trouble all year scoring runs. And this game kind of a microcosm of what's bothered them from the start of the season to this point. And that's why they're both, at this point, on the outside looking in. Carlos Beltran is 1 for 2. just take a look at this road trip for the Yankees. They had 1 run in 20 innings on Friday. 3 on Saturday. And 2 yesterday. And now 0 through 6 innings. Six runs in the last 44 innings. One and two. Brian McCann with a home run yesterday. He has a day off today.
It's been coming on. Certainly the last month. Getting a lot better. Well, I mean, look, there's no question about it that this is hasn't been as it was drawn up. Fair enough. Bring in some nice players that, you know, but when you have your 3, 4, 5 hitters, 26th in average, 29th in RBIs, you know, basically in the bottom 2 or 3 in every respective offensive category on base, slugging, extra base hits, you know, this is it. And then you have your rotation. I mean, with, you know, out of spring training, it was Pineda, Kuroda, Tanaka, Nova, and Sabathia. Who would have thought? You know, the only 2 guys left is Kuroda and Pineda.
And Pineda missed most of the season.
And Pineda missed most of the season. Brandon McCarthy was an excellent in-season pickup. I really like Shane Green. You know, Capuano, nice veteran pitcher, has been around. But, you know, how this plays out, the decisions that'll be made, it's going to be an interesting winter.
Well, it's hard to believe a Yankee lineup where the leader in RBIs at this point is 67. That's Jacoby Ellsbury. And that kind of tells you the whole story right there.
High fly ball. Right field. And Myers makes the play for the first out.
Third baseman, number 12, Chase Headley.
Here's Chase Headley. You know, when Headley got hit by Jake McGee, I had asked Ken Singleton, had he ever been hit in the head? And he said no. He said because usually it's hard for switch hitters to get hit like that because you get a long arm.
Oh, from the opposite side, yeah.
And Headley's a switch hitter, but McGee throws so hard and the ball just kept coming up. Hit him in the chin. Headley having a conversation with him.
Oh,
so now he's thrown out. Well, something was going on there, you could tell.
I think Marty Foster, the home plate umpire, was telling Headley to get in the box. You know, we don't see this much, but it was. There's a 12-second rule that's out there. I know.
I don't think it was that out. I think he was complaining about that strike call.
Well, here comes Joe West again.
I mean, can you imagine if they're all of a sudden going to institute the 12-second rule?
Well, you know what? I did see him gesture, just get in the box. So you're probably right. Maybe he was complaining, and they don't want to hear it.
Let's see if he's upset at this pitch.
It's the first pitch of the at-bat. Borderline down. You can see if there's a reaction right there, not happy with the call.
Well, right there. All right, now he's turning back.
You know what I always felt, as long as you're not turning to an umpire and letting everybody here at Tropicana Field know that I'm getting into it with you. Chase tried to mention something while he was looking at home plate. Marty Foster went back at him. Now they're getting into it, and everybody knows there's an issue now. And then that's it. And Al, you know this. Umpires will let you say a lot of things as long as you're not showing them up in front of the crowd where everybody knows it. Obviously, Marty Foster heard enough.
Yeah, from that replay, that's pretty sensitive of Marty Foster, because you did not see Chase Headley doing anything disrespectful.
Right.
I didn't think. We've seen a lot worse.
Stephen Drew will take over the at-bat with an 0-1 count.
And I got thrown out of one game in my major league career, and the only reason why was Jerry Lane got in my face. We were kind of having a conversation behind the plate, and all of a sudden he comes from behind and starts brushing off home plate. He takes his mask off and looks me directly in the eye. And then I said, now, Jerry, we got to go, because everybody here knows that you're getting in my face. So I think, to your point, Al, Chase Headley did not do anything to show up Marty Foster behind the plate initially.
Count 2-1 on Drew. Came together a little bit there, and then they separate. But not being demonstrative, no histrionics there.
But that was even after the initial conversation where Headley was looking at home plate.
Popped up, Rodriguez for the second out.
Here's the pitch, borderline down. Headley not happy, but not looking back at Marty Foster. Has a word and a look. Now gets back to home plate. Nobody at Tropicana Field knows that there's an issue. Marty goes back at him, and now they have their conversation.
And the pitch to Ichiro is a strike. Top of the 7th inning, 0-0, Yankees and the Rays. And there's a base hit. Nodi is playing on the line for Ichiro. Now Ichiro's going to go for 2, and he will make it.
Well, you love the 2-out double, but I keep thinking back to Ichiro's first at bat where he had second and third, 1 out, couldn't get a run in. You'd love to have that. But a great look on Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Like you said, Michael Loney playing on the line.
John, why would he be playing on the line in the 7th inning like that? For Ichiro Suzuki?
For the very reason.
The other way.
I'm just saying that no doubles. No doubles for first and third is to play the line.
In the 7th inning?
I'm just saying. That's a no doubles look to me.
So that's no doubles, and he just hit a double.
He's got a double. I know. That's the first thing I smirked at. He's no doubles, he got a double.
Sometimes you can play so close to the line, the ball gets by you on the right side. It's still a double. Jim Hickey goes out and talks with his pitcher.
You know, the thing about no doubles with first and third, you got to be close enough. Now, this is silly to me because he's actually covering, like he could field this one over here, way over there. I don't get it. I mean, he's on the line.
He's standing on the line. He's guarding foul territory.
Right. Even beyond, Michael. That makes no sense. No doubles is to make sure that a hot smash can't get by you. And short of hitting him in the belly, that was get that.
And usually, no doubles happens in the 9th inning. You do it in the 7th inning, you just gave Ichiro a double. If he hadn't played normally, he'd be an out. End of the inning. So now let's see if John Ryan Murphy could pick him up. Again, they have 3 infielders on the left side. A lot of the right is open for Murphy. If he could hit it there, he got an RBI, and the Yankees have a lead.
The problem with a club when you don't score a lot of runs is you don't have a lot of opportunities. So when you do have an opportunity, you feel so much pressure as a hitter that I have to get the job done in this spot. It makes it so tough when you put that type of pressure on yourself. Good news for Murphy. He's got a 2-0 count. Look for a pitch. Look for a zone. Try to put your ace swing on it.
Strike 2-0. Still throwing hard. 3-1.
Well, you mentioned him throwing hard, Michael. Right here in a fastball count, 3-1. He's been proud of his fastball all night long. If you're John Ryan Murphy, 90% you're getting a fastball. Make sure you're ready for it. Probably going to be away, to your point, Al, right? They're throwing a lot of fastballs away and up. Look out over the plate.
And he missed with the fastball away. And that is going to do it for Colomé. Joe Madden takes a slow walk out. We'll go to the bullpen to face Brendan Ryan. Just missed outside, but it was outside. Yankees first and second, 2 outs, top of the 7th, and Madden goes to the bullpen. Led by Darren Williams, Brooke Lopez, and Joe Johnson. Brooklyn's core is back and ready to contend in the Eastern Conference. And yes, is your home for all the action. This NBA season, when you think Nets, you gotta think yes. Well, Joe Madden has to make the Verizon call to the bullpen. Yankees have runners on first and second with 2 outs. And that call is going to bring in the right-hander Steve Jeltz. And he is going to face a pinch hitter. It's not going to be Brendan Ryan. It's going to be Brian McCann. 8 strikeouts in 5 innings. That's the line for Colomé. 6 2/3, 6 hits. The runners on base, his responsibility. McCann hit his 20th home run yesterday at Camden Yards. Pinch hitting for Ryan. And the righty deals. Starts him off with a breaking ball low.
You look at Geltz and his numbers, limited sample size, but lefties are 1 for 9 against him. Righties hitting better. Usually when you see numbers like that, you don't really know a whole lot about a young pitcher. You would say he probably has a good changeup that he throws to lefties but doesn't feel comfortable throwing it to right-handers. There was a changeup right there to Brian McCann, fouled off.
There it is. The one that you say, I wish I had that one back. Fastball down the middle, good slider, good changeup, and here he's trying to go upstairs, just up enough. Brian McCann, good swing on it.
Lost that one to shallow center field. Zobrist comes on and makes the play, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 men left at the end of 6 1/2. Time for the 7th inning stretch. 0-0. Which is brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 6 hits for the Yankees, 1 error, 2 hits for the Rays. Capuano won 6, Colomé won 6 2/3. Yankees 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Tampa Bay is 0 for 5. Some changes for the Yankees. First on the mound, Adam Warren will take over. And the left side of the infield is different as well. 45th game for Warren. Zealous Wheeler takes over at third. That's where Headley was playing. And Stephen Drew takes over at short because McCann pinch hit for Brendan Ryan. Sean Rodriguez swings and misses. Bottom of the 7th underway. Sounds like a broken back, ground ball to Wheeler. And a stretch by Teixeira. He kept his foot on the bag to get the out.
Well, this might be one where the bench coach, Dave Martinez, is going to go to the phone. Joe Maddon's going to take a stroll. Chris Fernandez, the video guy, will be looking in the Tampa Bay clubhouse to get a look and see if Mark Teixeira kept his foot on the bag. Wheeler just came in the game. The wide throw.
They didn't see anything on the video that would lead them to believe that it would be overturned. So Joe Maddon goes back, and it looks like he did keep his foot on the bag.
Yeah, good play by Mark Teixeira there. Well, Bob Lorenz talked about one swing of the bat. It could be one bad play like that also in a game like this. throwing error, then the runner's on second, but a nice play by Mark Teixeira to keep his foot on the bag.
There's Kurt Casale. Cadillac scoreboard, 0-0. Fly ball, center field. Ellsbury drifts back to make the play for the second out. Let's go back to the studio. Bob Lorenz has more. Wow, the Royals really need to make the playoffs. They have not made the playoffs since 1985. And if they don't make the playoffs, then the trade that sent Will Myers here for James Shields and Wade Davis, it was not a good trade because they're going to lose James Shields. They can't sign him. And he gave away a Rookie of the Year. That was the whole purpose of making that deal. The 1-0 to Zobrist. 2-0.
Throwing Jake Odorizzi as well.
Yeah. That's the deal.
Although Wade Davis, they'll still have control, right? He's emerged as one of the best relievers in the game. But I'm with you, Mike. Yeah. If they don't make the playoffs, James Shields is going to get a nice deal somewhere.
Probably not there.
Yeah, I agree.
The 3-0. They turned him loose. He popped it up. Stephen Drew is there. And Warren works a 1-2-3 inning. We're going to go to the 8th inning. 0-0 here on Yes. Fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to @Yes Network using hashtag YesFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. G and Amarato. Picture, both in their Yankee gear. Not much to smile about today. It's 0-0. New pitcher is Jeff Beliveau, and he will face the top of the Yankee order.
Beliveau got his first career save yesterday, retiring the only batter that he faced up in Toronto.
I've been broadcasting Yankee games 23 years, and I don't think in any of those years have I said at the end of whatever inning it's 0-0, which is just shows you that the Yankee pitching has been really good, and their hitting just has not done the job. I mean, how often have I said it's 0-0 after whatever? It's amazing.
After the first inning.
That happens, yes. On the scoreboard, 0-0.
Well, you also have a Tampa Bay team that has only scored 578 runs this year. That's 14th in the league.
One-two count on Ellsbury. Beliveau deals. Just missed.
Well, you start thinking about situations and scenarios where you can manufacture a run. I'm sure the Yankees in that dugout thinking we got to get Ellsbury on base. His 38 stolen bases, you try to create a run by being aggressive.
Ellsbury down looking.
This looked like it locked Jacoby up, an inside breaking ball. It started right at him. See, the target's away, and it ends up dropping down and in. Just locked him up.
That's a wide strike zone. I would enjoy that. Front side of the inside part of the plate, off the plate by, looked like about an inch or so. That's a tough pitch for any left-handed pitcher, left-handed hitter, because it is a lockup pitch. Exactly what Ellsbury reacted, how he did.
You immediately start thinking back to Chase Headley and what happened to him in New York. Fastball up and in. Brett Gardner able to get out of the way.
Well, different type of fastball, but Alex Colomé just went right after Brett Gardner. This is a little different look.
There's a strike. There he is, Gordon, foul territory.
Overhearing me, Mike?
Yeah. And this is a good first baseman.
He's got that covered. Saw it with Gardner's last at bat in the 2-1 count. He got a fastball pretty much down the middle, as Jeff Beliveau just did there. Either A, he's not picking it up, or got a 2-1 fastball.
Chopped slowly to second. Going to be a close play. And they get Gardner. now Joe Madden will start to mix and match, bringing a right-hander with Martin Prado due up. We're at the top of the 8th inning. No score, Yankees and the Rays. Official Hospital of the New York Yankees. Amazing things are happening here.
Well, Forsythe comes in on a slow ground ball and is just going to beat Brett Gardner hustling down the line.
Wow, amazing. 3 amazing replays. New pitcher for the Rays. It's Kirby Yates. Well, we might see a lot of pitching changes with the 2 Joes with expanded rosters. There'll be a lot of trips to the mound, mixing and matching.
Joe Madden, but he's got 3 more arms than he did last week in New York. Another 7 outs, 5 pitchers and 7 outs last week. But with that said, Michael, you know, talking about offense being down across baseball, aside from, you know, stricter testing for trying to rid 100% the game of PEDs, specialty pitching. I'll give you the shifts for some guys, but this here, how many nights do we see lesser named guys get called up with electric stuff?
Yep.
Every team's got the 95 or better guy.
But it seems so important that third time through a lineup, if you have a starting pitcher in there, you have to take advantage of that. Because of what your point here, these specialty arms coming in at the end of ball games, that 4th at bat is going to be tough for everybody.
And I do think in extension of the conversation of shifts and scouting reports and all that, I think now, because of the data, everything is documented. It's not just an advanced scout. You know, while that's important to give his report, you know, this pitch here is documented. The exact location, all of it. And scouting's better. Matchups are better because of it.
The Yankees go down in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 0-0 on yes. Game as Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry are back in the studio to recap tonight's matchup and bring you the latest updates on baseball's playoff picture. Plus, Meredith Morakovich gets the reaction from the clubhouse. It's all coming up. It's only on Yes. We go to the 8th inning. Still looking for a run. Adam Warren in his second inning of relief. He'll deal to Brendan Gaia. Hyundai scoreboard, 0-0. Count 1-1. Geyer hits a fly ball to center. One away.
Number 3, Longoria.
Here's Evan Longoria, 0 for 2 with a walk. And a strike. Bottom of the 8th inning, 0-0. Capuano against Colomé started, and now they've turned it over to the bullpen. The 0-1. 1-1. Sean Kelly up. There's a strike.
Good fastball there from Warren, 95 miles an hour. Velocity has not been an issue, even when he's had some struggles this year. It's more been on that slider and hanging some sliders early on. He was so sharp with that pitch.
Well, because it's his out pitch, I think you could fall in love with it, especially if you've had success. Clearly, easily at this level, hitting coaches, hitters identify that. There it is. Nice one there. And the element of, I agree, Adam Warren, nice explosive fastball, mid-90s, but that is a beautiful pitch. Not only movement, but the location, as you say, John. I mean, it's slider down the way quadrant, and you get a swing like that from a good hitter. But sometimes the problem, especially if you're tired, is that a slider is a power breaking ball. So there's an element of wanting to throw it aggressively with good velocity. And that's where guys get in trouble occasionally because you overthrow it. And that overthrown slider is just a backup, spinning, nothing fastball. Whereas a curveball, you try to take off. You're allowing the differential in speed to get the hitter out. So you don't think as aggressively, and it's just a different mindset. Adam Warren, when the combination of his fastball slider is on, he's tough to hit.
Myers hits one to right field. Ichiro is there, and Warren has worked 2 perfect innings. 1-2-3 7th, 1-2-3 8th. Let's go to the 9th. 6:30 for the Tri-State Ford pregame, and come back after the game for Yankees Extra Innings. Then Wednesday night, we'll have full coverage of the series finale here on Yes, beginning at 6 as the Yankees season to watch continues. New pitcher for the Rays, their 5th pitcher, it's Joel Peralta. This will be his 64th game. And he will face Mark Teixeira. Now the Rays think that Mark Teixeira will bunt. They had Rodriguez on the grass, or what would be the grass, between second and third, and he didn't bunt, so now they back up.
Yeah, and I don't know if this situation, obviously one swing of the bat could be the difference in this game. Again, I go back to my point earlier. If you're feeling good as a hitter and you're Mark Teixeira, take your shot. Try to hit a home run and go deep. If you're not, then going the other way or laying down a bunt becomes more of an option.
Teixeira 1 for 3, infield single, struck out looking and wrapped into a double play.
Well, when you have numbers like this, you're not going to be thinking about laying down a bunt. 556, 3 home runs, and in the driver's seat right now, a 3-1 count.
And he walked. So a leadoff walk here in the 9th. The Yankees send out a pinch runner.
My first thought, you send out Richardson, maybe trying to steal a bag. Doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Loney holding Teixeira. Beltran at the plate. Beltran 1 for 3. 1-0.
He would be the only one, right? Antoine Richardson is a runner.
If the Yankees take the lead, David Robertson will not be closing. He's pitched 3 days in a row through the game yesterday. He said he wasn't tired. He said, I was just terrible.
He's pitched a lot lately. I mean, kind of respect the fact that he said I'm not tired, but I'm sure fatigue had to be part of it.
Nice play by Casali. Riethenhauser. Having trouble with the strike zone, the count 3-1.
Peralta not having quite as good of a year as he's had in the past. Control and issues so far here in the 9th. Carlos Beltran, again, you look for a fastball. You got to be selective. Make sure it's where you're looking. Middle of the plate, but up a little bit.
Crowd of just 16,058 here at Tropicana Field. 3-2 count on Beltran. Swings and misses. Goes down on strikes.
Looking at Beltran get behind Peralta. Really, Peralta's pitch is his changeup, and because of his struggles with command, it's hard for him to get to his go-to pitch. This is a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. You can see the lower half even with Beltran really not exploding the hips and belly button toward the pitcher. Looked all arm. Watch, there's a two-seam grip, outside corner, see a little bit of tail away, and just a kind of a flailing swing.
It almost looks like that lead arm doesn't want to explode down and the top arm comes over. You're right, it looks very, very armsy.
Stephen Drew. Drew came off the bench, took over the at-bat of Chase Headley, who was thrown out with an 0-1 count. Had a discussion with home plate umpire Marty Foster. Sean Kelly up. The 0-2 pitch. High fly ball, center field. For the second out.
Peralta just going up the ladder once Stephen Drew got behind 0-2 count. Joel Peralta taking advantage of expanding the zone. The Yankee hitters going after what looks like balls out of the zone.
Here's Ichiro. Right back to Peralta. So if the Yankees are going to win this game, they'll have to do it in extra innings. Here in the ninth, no runs, no hits, no errors. One man left on base. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning in St. Pete. Nothing. Yankees and Rays.
Can help you grow, and by your Tri-State BMW Center, and by the Syracuse Orange, New York's college team.
Now we go to the bottom of the ninth inning here at the Trop. Beautiful night outside. Inside, not much offense. Some good pitching. 6 hits the Yankees have managed, and the Rays just 2. And the Yankees will go to the bullpen again. Sean Kelly will take over. Capuano 6 shutout innings. Warren 2 shutout innings. And now Sean Kelly.
Sean missed a considerable part of the season from May to June with a lower back soreness. He's coming on of late. Good slider. He's on again. I mean, it sounds like a broken record, but the fastball slider combination has really been baiting Major League bullpens.
Here's Yunel Escobar, 0 for 3 tonight. The only 2 hits in the game, Ben Zobrist led off the first with a single to center, and then Brandon Geyer singled to center with 1 out in the 5th.
Well, you think all the way back to our Jeep hitter scouting report, we talked about Escobar showing some power lately and also having a big road trip. One of the hottest Rays hitters.
Brent Balfour's up. Nubbed. And foul. Two on Escobar. Two. Fouled away. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the count 3-2.
Kelly went with the slider early, and now he's thrown 3 fastballs in a row to Escobar.
Sean Kelly is not a predictable pitcher. He'll throw a 3-2 slider, 2-0 slider, so it's what he's feeling. I think there's a lot of guys you can eliminate their secondary pitch.
Grounded to third. Wheeler gobbles it up. 1 away.
That's second baseman, number 10, Logan Forsythe.
Here's Logan Forsythe. Forsythe is 0 for 3 and 4 for his last 49. Fastball upstairs. The 1-0.
I think that's a pitch there that really makes Sean Kelly difficult to hit. Even though, Michael, you cite Forsythe's number, he's cold. He's in a 1-0 count. He throws him a 1-0 slider. Now here's a 2-0 fastball down the middle. You wonder as pitchers, scout reports, going in who's hot, who's cold. There are certain guys where you just, not that you don't respect and honor a major league hitter with a bat in his hand, but there's some guys where you just say, I'm going to be aggressive here. I'm not going to be cute. He's got to hit his way on.
Forsythe got the start in this game because the left-hander Capuano was pitching. You wonder why Joe Madden maybe not going to the bench here, pinch hitting. You got De Jesus on the bench, Matt Joyce, Kiermaier, lefties with a little bit of power. Nick Franklin is up from the minor leagues. He can play second if he needed him. He stays with Forsythe.
And a base hit to left field.
That's why Joe Madden's a smart man right there.
I hear what you have a big roster, and you know, how often do we see these lineups, left, right, left, right, left, right? Short stroke, doesn't do a whole lot. Nice line drive, base hit, swing. You know, I'm always intrigued when you look. You know, you get in games like this, and you know, we've seen a lot of big, healthy cuts for guys, you know, looking to go long ball. You know, line drive up the middle, base hit type swings, get it done.
Here's James Loney. He's hurt the Yankees all year. Pitch outside. He's 1 for 3. Short sample size against Kelly. David De Jesus is on deck to pinch hit for Sean Rodriguez.
You got to give James Loney a little bit of credit, because when he first came up, as you see Rich Hill starting to get loose, you could beat him inside with a fastball, and now he still likes the ball out over the plate, but he's gotten a little better on the inner half.
That one is looped into center field. That's going to dunk in for a base hit. Forsythe will stop at second. It's a single for Loney, and the winning run is in scoring position.
Loney has beat up the Yankees all year with power and has hit the ball hard. He does not hit the ball hard here. A slider down middle and a great look at it right off the end of the bat. Ellsbury had no chance to catch this. He gives a little fake like he's going to be able to make a play putting his glove up, but he cannot. Forsythe advances to second.
All right, so here's De Jesus, and that'll bring out Larry Rothschild. Here's what I've never understood. Why is Rich Hill up? I mean, if he doesn't come in to face De Jesus, is he up as a dog in the yard so you don't send up a lefty?
A dog in the yard?
Yeah, just to protect the house.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if it's a decoy,
he's not coming in. If somebody scores, the game's over. And De Jesus 2 for 5 with a home run against
you know what
Kelly.
it is, Michael? I think it's a feel for managers. You see the numbers here. The 2 hits. One of them was a home run off Kelly. I think it's a feel. I think the manager watches what's going on and how's the pitcher. And I know it's all righty-lefty matchups and all that, but this is a gut feel. And while Rich Hill's warming up,
well, now he sat down.
Well, now, yeah, it was for De Jesus, and his spot is now not needed.
So Kelly against De Jesus. And the pinch hitter takes outside.
The Yankee outfielders playing a little bit more shallow, trying to cut that run at home plate on a base hit if they can. Not drastic, just a little bit of an adjustment.
Fouled the fastball off. Wheeler couldn't get there. Forsythe, the winning run at second. Loney is at first. 1 man out, bottom of the 9th inning. Sean Kelly, the 3rd Yankee pitcher, facing pinch hitter David De Jesus up there for Sean Rodriguez. Out of the way again. Again, Wheeler gives it a look. This one's in the seats.
It's one of those at-bats that, you know, you want to be on the same page. John Ryan Murphy going out to Sean Kelly. David DeJesus is being beat badly. 96, as good a fastball I've seen Kelly throw. His out pitch is a slider. He throws his slider more than his fastball. But yet you have a hitter that's showing he's not catching up. So don't out-trick yourself.
Reading bats like you talk about.
Read the bat. Fastball away and trust it.
The 1-2. Up high with the fastball. 2-2.
Yeah, I wonder if he believed it. You know, there's sometimes you know it's the right pitch, but you're not sure. And in this situation, I always throw a back foot slider. Okay, I'll go fastball away.
Each team has left 7 runners on base. Yankees with 6 hits, the Rays with 4. The 2-2. He blew it right by him. 2-way.
No, that's just a big at bat right there. First and second, obviously a base hit could potentially lose the game. Now let's take a look at the pitch by pitch. Just pounded away. Sean Kelly showing 96 miles an hour. Here it is, hit it. And basically that's what he did. You see the foul balls and that high fastball away. Does he go with slider? No. 95 away, elevated a little bit. What an aggressive, good at bat. Quality pitching right there by Sean Kelly.
Well, now Joe Madden will send up Matt Joyce to pinch hit for Kurt Casale.
Again, John Ryan Murphy out to the mound talking to Kelly, trying to figure out their game plan with Matt Joyce.
Matt Joyce from Tampa. So playing for the hometown team. That's a chance to send people home happy here. First and second, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. Yankees looking for extra innings. Want to know.
Well, if you're Kelly and John Ryan Murphy, you have to make a decision. Do you go right at Matt Joyce, or do you have Ben Zobrist waiting on deck? Which matchup does Kelly feel better about? You don't have to give in here. David Cohn always says third base is open.
Especially Matt Joyce. He's a better fastball hitter. His fastball, 298 batting average, curveball 214, slider 217, changeup's even worse. So to your point, there is an open base. If you think the off speed is the out pitch, you go with it.
2-0. 2-1.
You know, sometimes I scratch my head. You get a 2-0 fastball as a hitter, and you take that type of a swing. I mean, I know Sean Kelly's throwing hard. That's your classic read the swing out. Because if you're not going to catch up with a fastball right down the middle on a 2-0 count, then you're probably not going to catch up with the fastball.
The 2-1. 3-1.
It almost looked like I'm looking off speed and I'm not going to swing otherwise. And last minute, oh, fastball
right down the middle.
Yeah.
3-1 count on the pinch hitter Joyce. Runner on first and second, nothing, bottom of the ninth. And the pitch. He walked him to load the bases and bring up Ben Zobrist.
Zobrist in his career against Kelly is 1 for 11. So Sean Kelly's had success against him.
Bases loaded with Rays. Bottom of the 9th inning. Blocked by Murphy. Doesn't seem like he has a breaking ball.
Well, this is an interesting at bat all the way around. Pressure on Murphy to block the ball in the dirt. Pressure on Kelly to throw the ball over the plate and not get behind with the bases loaded. Then a little pressure on Zobrist, like you said, Al, does not have good numbers against Kelly.
Went with the breaking ball for strike.
That's a big pitch right there. 1-0 to 2-0 to or 1-1 on a backdoor slider. Good pitch.
You know what? If I'm Zobrist in this situation, I'm eliminating the inside part of the plate, because the last thing a pitcher wants to do is hit somebody with the bases loaded. You see his numbers with the bases loaded pretty good. The 5 grand slams. If you're Zobrist, I think you can look middle away and kind of eliminate that fastball is going to be anywhere inside.
1-1. Line drive, right field, and that'll be the ball game. A single for Ben Zobrist. Forsythe scores, and the Yankees' offensive ineptitude bites them again as they lose this one 1-0 in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Well, it's just, we've watched this all year long. I mean, the bullpen has been fantastic, but you're always pitching these high-stress innings. Kelly had good stuff tonight, and Zobrist was just able to beat him with a fastball.
Well, the Rays celebrate as they win the first game of this 3-game set. Ben Zobrist picks up his 47th run batted in, the only run on the board. Neither team could get anything going until the Rays broke through in the 9th. Let's take a look now at the T-Mobile game changer.
Well, I think it's no surprise. We just saw it. Bases loaded, comes in, fastball. Ben Zobrist, good quality hitter. I know he said he's 1 for 11 lifetime, but that's all it took. T-Mobile game changer.
Well, he tried to go fastball in. Murphy setting up in, but the ball's pretty much right down the middle. And I'm telling you, it has to be a thought of Kelly's mind. I don't want to hit him, right? So you try to go in, it runs back over the plate, base hit, game over.
It's been a road trip with very few runs scored. And again, the Yankees end up losing a well-pitched game. We'll go back to the studio now. Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry will set the table for the remainder of the night. Guys?